on board for the rest of 2025 on Edge FM's O&M Live. It's the Saints and the Rovers, a bit of misty rain. The weather is pretty cold and miserable here at the McNamara Reserve. Blake Penderecott with you. Scotty Montgomery. We got the Big Mac as well. I look out the window. The fire bucket's roaring here at the McNamara Reserve.
Is.
That's a good place to be, Robbie, isn't it?
Good flame, mate, isn't it?
It is very
Eternal
hot.
flame.
Absolutely.
Gotta have hope, mate.
All right, well, just speaking during the break, a bit of topsy-turvy news during the week about Tasmania. All right, obviously, the 19th licence looks on a knife edge at the moment. The no confidence motion against the current Premier, Jeremy Rockliff, looks like he's going to get given the arse. We don't know what's happening. Yep, with the Tasmania licence. If you guys could pick any side, town, whatever, you can come up with it how you like. You can interpret it how you like. If you could pick any side to be the 11th team in the Ovens and Murray, Big Mac, who would it be and why?
Well, some obvious ones. An obvious one would potentially be Benalla.
Yep.
And then they've tried before is trying to grab one out of Wagga.
Yep.
So Turvey Park, Wagga maybe. Now I'm going to throw one at you here, and this would be by popular demand across the whole of the Hume League. Osborne. Let's bring Osborne in. They've proven they've dominated. They've won 18 of the last 36 premierships in the Hume League. Maybe they need another challenge. Let's bring Osborne into the Ovens and Murray.
Because you probably get some other Hume League people that would jump on board.
And Wagga people.
Yep.
Would drag in.
I don't mind it. They got the facilities, do they, Big Mac?
Yeah, not bad. Yeah,
you don't sound too confident.
No, it's not too bad.
Could they play on Holbrook's ground?
They could. They could rent it out.
All right, so
they charge for their home games for 2 hours.
I'm going for Osborne.
What about you, Big Mac?
Big Mac.
That's
Scott Montgomery.
Wow. I think for myself, someone out of the GV League, because we know they always talk up how good their comp is and how close to the O&M it is, but it's really not. I think Kai Abram. I'd love to see Kai Abram come across.
Why? Why
They've been so good for so long in that competition, and they're on top of the ladder again this year. Let's see how they'd stack up against the Wangaratta Rovers or the Wangaratta Magpies.
What about Echuca? They've been good too, Mont.
They've been okay.
Echuca's got a bigger population. That probably makes a bit more sense.
Just Kai Abram.
Yep.
Just who's been the best out of that
What
comp.
about you, Blake? What would you go for?
I'm thinking probably more locally. Thinking of the population across Albury Wodonga.
I think I know what you're thinking about.
What about we pump a fair bit of money into Thaguna or a bit Barranduda and give them a crack at coming into the Ovens and Murray?
Imagine a game of Ovens and Murray football on Thaguna football ground.
That's why I mean pump some money into the ground, get rid of the pitch, make it bigger,
Start again.
And I wouldn't mind seeing that long term in 20 years. I reckon they'd be a powerhouse.
I agree. You're onto it there. I think you're onto it there. And don't rule out Barranduda. But that could be a chance for maybe a Raiders or a Wodonga might amalgamate with the Barranduda Bears.
I like it. There you go. Thinking big on
Good on you,
Pregame for
Panda.
JJ's
Well done,
Waste and
mate.
Recycling.
When did you come up with that one?
About 10 seconds ago. Both sides are out on the ground. It's the Terry Socks it for cancer round as well. More on after that, after the break. The Saints and the Rovers, first quarter on the other side of this. It's O&M Live, where you will not miss a thing.
Claire.
Little question. I like it.
You guys listen to the Sunday Rub?
Yeah,
Sunday podcast.
I love it. So much Sunday. I do the hunt
On Friday, big
and I'll do
Friday
it today's game.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Shawty get inspired, how about that? How about that? This time.
Calvini. Riley Calvin. Sorry, just Calvin.
1
For A-grade oils and batteries, Blake Pandarescott with you, Scotty Montgomery alongside me. He's doing stats and specials today, and the Big Mac, Robert McKinlay as well. Who are we taking a look at today, Monty? Who are you fancying?
Got some very, very good players, actually. Got Matt Munro, Bowen Calogero, Simon Curtis, Jackson East, and Tom Capillari. While for the Rovers, I've got Brodie Philo, Sam Murray, Charlie Thompson, your man, who you spoke about earlier, leads all stat categories, Kieran Parnell, and Sam Catapan.
I like it. You're going to be busy with those 10 names, Monty.
No. I don't know what these stats boys talk about. It's not very hard.
No, not at all. You can do it all. It is Robbie as well. The Terry Socks at the Cancer Round now on our sister station 2AY. You had Terry on this morning. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, we had Greavesy on. It's the 4th year we've been doing it. So, Terry's heavily involved. And I suppose the main message that came out of it for mine was the area that the Albury-Wodonga Regional Cancer Centre Trust services is pretty much the Ovens and Murray, Ovens and King, Toolangatta and Hume.
Yep.
So that's why we all get involved. And if there's a footy record there today too, it's got the QR code on it. Just click on there and you can donate from there. So, yeah, and you can donate any time. But the best thing about it, all the money goes locally, every single cent. So well done to Terry Greaves. He's tracking along pretty good, the big fella. Gee, he's a great player too. 200 gamer at Penella back in the day, and he's got a real focus on this, and it's been fantastic for him, and he's leading the way, Panda.
And what you'll see on our O&M SnapPrint Solutions TV, which is the cool hand of Travie Cartwright on your camera today. If you're watching at home on the King's Birthday long weekend, you'll see the Saints in the green socks and the Rovers in the blue socks. So the coloured socks, all clubs wearing them today in the Ovens and Murray. Monty, who wins and why?
I'm going to go Myrtleford today.
Ooh,
I've tipped Rovers all week, but just the weather, the conditions, it's just made me change. So Myrtleford just.
Monty? Big Mac.
Cool, let's done that now.
Yeah, look, I tipped Myrtleford on O&M Live, so I'm going to stick with you. Can't chop and change, mate.
I like it. Well, I'm going to stay with my tip, the Rovers. No reason as to why they will not continue charging on and make it 7 wins on the trot. Ins for Myrtleford today. Turner, Miotto, Horrigan out. Agosta, Ferguson, Beatty. And for the Rovers, Dalzotto and Schulte in for Shaganolan and Stewie Booth. We're about to get underway. Who are the umpires, Robbie?
We've got Mason Ring, Richard Bull and Brent Swanpool.
3 of the best.
And gold umpires are Mark Baywater and Basil Lewis.
I like it. And my man Mason holds the ball aloft. We're underway. Round 8 action in the Ovens and Murray between the Saints and the Rovers. And it's Big Toby Cossa up against Ed Damon. Call it a stalemate. East with the first clearance for the Saints. Tumbles it forward. Big Riley Smith. Long way to bend down for the big ruckman in the wet. Hand pass intercepted by the Rovers. Dylan Stone tackled straight away by Matty Munro. And we'll have a ball up inside 50 for the Saints. Good early clearance to the way of Jackson East, having some sort of year, is the man from Bustleton. Maraca thought he got one high, and Branson Swampool agreed. And it is a free kick to Joshy Maraca. That was, that was pretty stiff, I think, Monty.
Yeah, in these conditions, you just got to know that players are going to go to ground a bit easier. They just need to make sure they don't pay too many of those sort of ones today. Otherwise, we'll just be stop-start all day.
Free kick and a shot on goal for Josh Maraca in the dry. He will get the distance, no worries. He's going to kick from just inside 50. Starts it out to the right. And it's made the distance in the end. It threw for a minor score. So the Saints move to one behind. The Rovers yet to score. Big Mac, we've played a minute for Maccas here on O&M Live.
Yeah, sometimes it's the ability to not give away a free kick as much as anything in that situation. The umpire's getting a bit hot early. Now, Allison plays on quickly. It's an old mongrel punt kick. And it's going to be chopped out by Jackson East, who's been busy early. He takes a good mark, 70 out from goal, goes straight up the guts, low penetrating kick. Allison, kick off the ground was clever. Philo was there, got 2 or 3 goes at it. Now here's a chance, breaking clear. Here's a left foot snap by East again. Maraka's there at the front of the pack. Riccardi, right foot snap. Bit of holding, a mark in the gold square, and Big Sharp has taken it. A tumbling grab. Was like a big tree falling in the forest there, Monty, but the grab's been taken by Riley Sharp.
Yeah, just in front, first to move. That's what you want to be in these sort of days with a scrappy sort of footy that's going to come in. I'll tell you what, Myrtleford's defensive pressure to keep it inside 50 was fantastic. It wasn't the prettiest play to get it to where it got to, but they have a shot on goal from the top of the goal square.
It'd be a good start for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. Riley Sharp, 15 metres out, directly in front, puts through the first goal of the afternoon. Some good forward pressure. 1-1-7 Myrtleford. They lead Rovers yet to score. And that is on the game traffic and contracting scoreboard.
Yeah, as I touched on, just the scrappy play there from Myrtleford. They just wanted it a little bit more, went a little bit harder, and the defensive stuff to keep it inside 50 was fantastic. That's what they've got to do. They've got to start the game really well. We know the Rovers, if they get behind, they can just get it a bit wavy, which hasn't happened to them much this year, but they need to make sure they respond quickly to that.
So, a big start for the Saints. They needed to start well in this ball game.
Gee, Jackson East had a bit of it early, lads.
Yeah, it had 3 40 winks.
Yeah.
Of course, played a lot of footy up in the NT and over in Busselton and WA as well. And here he is on a freezing cold day in Myrtleford.
Nearly made him my captain in fantasy too.
3 really different sort of areas of Australia. Ed Damon taps it down. Murray leaving it behind. Calagero's hand pass was intercepted. It comes out to Del Bosco. Picks it up on the ground. Somehow got a hand pass and the umpire says no, holding the ball. And it's a free kick here to the Rovers. And Charlie Thompson hand passes it off to Brody Philo. He's going to pump it long on centre wing. Inside 50 just. Saints with numbers. Diving over the footy there is Zach Pethbridge. Lots of players around the pill. It's going to be scrappy all day and we'll have a ball up. 40 out from Rovers goal. Their first inside 50, Monty.
Yes, that was the first. And Myrtleford have 2 on the 40-wing stat sheet.
So in the forward 50 for Rovers. Ooh, a little nice underhand ball there. Thompson was intercepted. Quick hands again by Philo. Sam Murray. Ball slipped out and he's going to be penalised.
Took him on.
A good decision. Tell you what, you don't get away with those ones. And there's no one on the mark at the moment. Or Sam Murray's pretty deep. So Tommy Capillari comes down to centre wing. Well-weighted kick goes over the head of Calagero. And it's gone out over the boundary line, right in front of the interchange bench, where normally you'd see Scott Montgomery down there toughing it out on the boundary, but Monty's got a dual role today, haven't you?
Stats, can't do stats down on the boundary, and there's a nice heater up here in the box, so I'm happy where I'm at, Robbie.
Panda's looking comfy, and he's ready to bring some of his best to you right now.
And you were the silly fool that decided to wear a vest today, Monty, as well.
No, I've got the big one in the bag, don't worry about that.
Damon edges it about 20 metres forward down the line for the Rovers, but it's intercepted at half back by Riley Calvin, who's made his self at home in the back line this year, the former Rowley captain in the O&K. He's going to play territory and go long down the line. Big Riley Smith and Cossa are there. Ball comes to the deck. Calagero with a clever little toe poke onto East, who tried to hand pass it to Munro, who was running down the boundary line, and it's over and out of play again. About 65 around from Myrtleford goal. They lead 1-1-7 to the Rovers. Yet to score. 4 minutes for Macca's opening term.
We've already had 5 stoppages in this game. I think it's going to be a common trend, and then we could end up with nearly 100, I feel.
You're going to count them, Mont?
No.
You love your stoppages.
I do.
Count. Now, there's been a free kick awarded here. It's going to go the way of the Wangaratta Rovers.
Apparently Bobby Jackson counted all the stoppages last week.
Yep. Get a life, Bob. Ed Damon kicks it down the line, and Cooper doesn't get it on the first grab. Was knocked out of his hands cleverly there by Harrington. And a little corky or a Charlie Thompson just had a bit of
a shin, I think.
A hobble there.
He's all right.
The knee.
Oh, Dr. Escott is getting the all clear. Actually, it was
trying
a
to rub
Dr.
it off.
Escott, wasn't there?
Doesn't have the best running gait
Back
as
in
it
the
is
day.
Charlie Thompson, so I don't think it will affect that too much.
Told me he was a doctor anyway.
I wish.
Here's Murray getting a bit of attention from Calagero. Damon Oh, good hands, Thompson. On to Murray. Right foot kick. Centering's a beauty. And a mark has been taken by the big fella. Will Christie drives it long. Top of the goal square. They've got some numbers. Keep an eye on Thompson over the back. Well spoiled. Curtis is there, hovering. Cleverly lets the ball get out over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in. 10 metres around from the Rovers' goal. 6 minutes gone first quarter for A-grade oils and batteries. And it's Myrtleford 7, lead the Wangaratta Rovers yet to score.
And that goal kicker is big Riley Sharp, who kicks his 9th for the year, going around a goal a game in his return from an ACL injury. Big Riley. Toss in, 10 metres around from Rovers' goal. Christie, that was a clear hold against Toby Cossart. Brody Follow plays on with the advantage and misses. And Sam Murray doesn't look all that happy in the end. So it was a free kick out of the ruck to Will Christie, who's a good goal kicker, and Follow played on with the advantage. It's a minor score, so the Rovers one behind to Myrtleford 1-1-7. We've played 6.5 for game traffic and contracting.
Usually a lot smarter, Brody Follow. Got a shot on goal, and in conditions like this, 15 metres out slide angle, just needs to make sure he let his teammate take that one.
Curtis pumped a long kick, but Lockie O'Brien marked it and played on. Target. He's missed his first option, which was McCartney. And now Myrtleford. Just a bit of good work off half-back clear it. Chance here for Del Bosco. Oh, he missed a chance to go across the ground.
Smith.
Poor vision. He had Big Smith. And now it's a true centre half-back. The Wangaratta Rovers going to get themselves out of trouble here. Panda, he missed a chance there.
He did. It's Jace McQuaid who's got the ball in the middle of the McNamara. Shallow kick's going to be intercepted. Brand dropped what he should have marked for the Saints on the far side. Christie brought down in a big tackle, I should say. They didn't like that. They thought there might have been a bit of a sling action from Big Toby Cossa.
Oh, he's a mean dude.
He is. Wouldn't like to steal his sandwich. Big Toby. Bunt to him at Public House about a year and a half ago. He said, "What are you doing here, Panda?" I said, "I'm not sure." Philo goes back to Thompson.
You're about to leave.
Off a step. Kicks it into the pocket. Coming hard and crashing the pack was Cooper. Wilson did well to bounce off East. Head over the footy. Dragged off it. Wanted a free kick. And the umpire bought it. Mason Ring bought it, and it's a free kick to the Rovers just outside attacking 50. They're kicking to the paddock end of the ground.
Yeah, I reckon it was there, Panda. Sorry to steal your thunder, mate, but kick. Cooper, a lunging attempt, mopped up by Curtis, a tumbling punt to the half-back, and it's been marked by the other number 13, which is Sammy Murray. Now he's told to play on. Murray's kick, a chiselling one. Oh, here he is. My man, Hurrigan. He's a beauty. Handballed off to Jake Sharp. He kicks it to the centre of the ground. Munro's was chopped out, intercepted beautifully there by Brody Paul, and he'll bring it back into attack again, Panda.
He will. So the Rovers, how many inside 50s now, Monty?
They're up to 6, only 2 for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints.
They're yet to kick a goal. Murray, left foot entry, in again to the hot spot. Big pack of players, spills out the back towards Christie. Running onto this one is Thompson. Oh, wonderful defensive effort from Jake Sharp. Puddle and all, didn't care. He's wet as a shag. And I tell you what, it's through for a minor score. That is a wonderful diving effort from Jake Sharp. A goal-saving effort, and the Rovers go to 2, Myrtleford 7.
It's a long day now when you're that wet in the first 10 minutes of the game. You're not happy about that if you're Jake Sharp.
He was like Ariana Tipness, wasn't he? Just ploughing through the water there. Here's a chance for McCarthy. Punts it, tumbles it. It's long and it's penetrating, and it lands just out of the side of the white line. So the man who is soaked from that dive in the water. He has cleared the water out of the goal square, though, Jake Sharp, and he'll bring it back in the true back pocket position. Myrtleford 7, Rovers 2, and we're doing this one for A-grade oils and batteries first quarter action. Here's Panda for the Norvo.
Jake Sharp just slotting back in beautifully in defence for Myrtleford. Exits D50.
Look out here.
That's a tumbling punt to the far side on the wing. Matty Munro's the first there. No player within 20 metres of him. Gathers, wants his left foot. Good defensive pressure there by Kieran Parnell. Forced an errant kick. Pack of players on the far side. One of those Del Zotto. Philo shoveled it out towards Parnell, who says to myself, why am I playing in Myrtleford? Where's the Northern Territory? Munro. Dainty little check side kick's been marked by Paul on the back flank for the Rovers. Umpire says not 15. He's going to go down the line, but it's all Saints. One of those, Del Bosco. The Saints lead 1-1-7 to the Rovers. 2 behinds. We've played 11 minutes for Maccas.
He comes inboard to the centre, finds Jake Sharp. He's got the cleanest jumper on the ground now. Sharp, good kick, inside forward, 50. Allenson spoils. Over the back, they've got numbers. Smith was hovering around, so was Riccardi. And the umpire, Mason Ring, says, give it to me, fellas. He's going to throw this one up. Netball pocket, 35 metres out from the Myrtleford goal. They lead 7-2. They'd love to pinch one here. Nice toss up by Ring to the pocket. Snap by Riccardi. rolls along the ground, and Charles Ledger gathered it and just ran it out over the boundary line for a boundary throw in. Monty, what are you seeing, mate?
Yeah, Wang Rovers are dominating the inside 50s. They're up to 8-4, and they're also on top in the clearance count, 5-4 as well.
So the Saints 1-1-7 to the Rovers 2 behinds at the 11th minute mark, opening term. Big scrimmage inside 50 for the Rovers. Getting past was Thompson, on to Murray, who shakes and bakes around Brady Sharp. And a beautiful inboard kick, looking for McCarthy. Able to get out the back of Del Bosco, who does well to keep the footy in. In fact, it's Brady Sharp at the bottom of that pack, and we'll have a ball up adjacent to the centre circle in the middle of the McNamara Reserve. How many inside 50s did you say, Monty? Sorry?
It's 8-4 at the moment, with Rovers' way.
And the Rovers yet to score. Here's Maraka, left foot tumbling kick, marked, playing in front by Munro. Gets it on to Tenardi, into the pocket with a beautiful kick from Mitch Tenardi. Finds Brodie Riccardi, and this is the perfect angle for little Brodie. He can run around here from 20 metres out, tight pocket.
Yeah, how good was that breaking away from that stoppage, the Myrtleford Alpine Saints? Just beautiful kick inside 50 as well. On days like today, you don't normally see that. It's a bit more of a bomb at long, but on the lead, Riccardi a little bit too quick, and I reckon he'll go back and just kick the drop punt here because he's a beautiful finisher normally.
So Brodie Riccardi hasn't kicked a goal in the last couple of weeks after he kicked a bag of 4 against Yarrawonga in round 5. Comes in, makes no mistake. Loves it. Does Brodie Riccardi, and the Saints have got 2. They move to 2-1-13 to the Rovers, 2 behinds. It's an 11-point lead. Monty for Corowa Tiles.
Yeah, already we can see the Rovers are trying to still play with dry weather footy. They're trying to come through the middle of the ground. It's cost them a goal there with the Saints being able to stop it, get a stoppage, and then win that stoppage clearance to then get it inside 50 for a goal. So they might have to just change their game plan a little bit with how sloppy the conditions are, especially early.
Geez, how was the pass from Tenardi?
Brilliant.
Oh, in these conditions.
It was a Mawson's concrete pass of the day, Robbie.
Yeah, it was, Pan. I'll grant you that. And what was also clever about it, that is probably the driest part of the ground.
Yep.
That little pocket over there, it seems quite nice. So, and
would you
nice
have a picnic
finish
on it, Robbie, right now?
I would, mate. I was up here last night for dinner, and why not? Murray, he's got a few stats already too. Kick off the ground was Parnell. How many you got him for, mate?
5.
5 on the 40 wing stats. That's Scotty Montgomery. He's doing every role here today, except on down boundary side. Wilson got a handball out. No, he's going to be penalised. He might have got a throw on that, did he, Panther?
It's a free kick for a high on Sharp.
All right. Well, Jake Sharp's been good so far. He's saved him, and he's winning a bit in the midfield as well. A little bit indecisive here, so he decides he'll go towards the pocket. And the mark's taken out there on the far side of the ground. Panther, I can't quite pick him up.
Tenardi.
It is Tenardi. Take it away, son.
Off a step, kicks to just outside 50. Ned Turner went one-handed when he probably should have went 2 and drops the mark, and it's out of play on the far side. 50 around from Myrtleford goal, who have started hot here in this first quarter for A-grade Oils and Batteries. 2-1-13 to the Rovers. Wasteful early, yet to score. Toss back in front of the netball courts, far side. Smith taps it down. None of his charges pick it up at ground level. Catapan for the Rovers. Snaps it down the line. Schulte and Del Bosco battle. Philo tries to keep it in. In the end, he says, nah, had enough, and I'll toss it over the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in on the far side, Robbie. So all the play camped on that far side of the ground.
Yeah, it's a bit of a southwesterly today, Pandy. You'll see a bit of that. Just good, clever work there by Simon Curtis. I was talking earlier about the ability to not give away a free kick. Curtis just puts a hand on it, but he doesn't prolong the tackle when they haven't got the ball. It's really smart play. That's Simon Curtis, and that's what he brings to this side. As the bald-headed warrior, Brent Swampool, will throw it up in the air. Up she goes. Not a lot of depth in the throw. East is good. Off the right foot. Kicks it to half forward. Cossa just making himself annoying there with McQuaid.
On the full.
And he's kicked it out of bounds the full. So Matty Munro has it here. He'll need to move it quick. He does. He goes deep to the pocket. The Bren gun took a dive. He couldn't bring it in. And it's out for a boundary throw in Panda adjacent. The pocket here for Myrtleford. They're attacking. They lead 13-2. And that is on the game and traffic and contracting scoreboard.
Yeah, really poor kick there into the pocket. Brent had a massive advantage over Xavier Ellison, both in the air and on the lead.
It was a slips diving effort. Hopefully we'll see a few of those on Friday in the World Test Championship. Snap towards goal. Bren brought it to ground level. Did well. Munro. Clever hand pass out to Jake Sharp. Off a step. The Saints have got 3. Jake Sharp from the top of the goal square. A wonderful receive hand pass from Matty Munro. He kicks his 2nd goal of the year. Sneaking forward. Jake Sharp gets the Saints 3rd. 3-1-19 to the Rovers 2 behinds.
One thing about Jake Sharp, so he's just come back into this side, he just does a roll. He plays a roll. He just floats around, and no one's really giving him a lot of credit yet, I don't feel, out there on the field. The teams aren't putting work into him, but I think they're going to have to start. He'll go play loose man at times. You can see there, he just floated from his wing forward and was a loose man, no one around him, and a really good finish as a very good player. He normally does that sort of stuff.
You know, Mont, you think about it, he's a 150-metre player. He saved a certain goal down there because one of the Rovers players was going to kick it off the ground. He just caved through the water there, and now he snapped a goal 150 metres back up the ground. And he's done a lot of good work in midfield as well. Yeah,
he's absolutely been fantastic since he come back in. As I said, from that injury, and yeah, Robbie, his efforts at both ends of the ground, he's a true Myrtleford person. He just puts his body on the line time and time again for him.
And he's on that far wing there, but he's covering some ground. But these conditions, just a little bit slower. He reads the game so well. He's putting himself in some great positions. A bit of a swing and a miss there from the Rovers through Thompson. Doesn't cover a lot of ground. Sam Murray a swing and a miss as well too. Good tackle there by the skipper, Xavier Allison. And it will be a ball up. And that's Richard Bull, I believe, Panda. Umpire Bull. He's a beauty. Murray kicks the ball into half forward at a good mark taken by my man, the Hourigan. Here he goes. If he kicks... Oh, he's had a swing and miss. He kicks forward today. He's got free piss all night on me in Myrtleford.
And Panda.
Absolutely.
And Panda.
Hard from the back pocket.
I hope he stays back.
Sharp.
Murray almost takes the mark, Panda. His desperation was good. Calogero did well.
Left foot kick down the line. Keeps it in play. Parnell push Munro on the back.
Probably.
Umpire says play on, and it'll be tossed back in. 65 around for Myrtleford goal.
Just some stat leaders, boys, on the 40-wing stats. Jackson East with 6, Charlie Thompson with 6, and Sam Murray as well starting to get going. He's got the 6 as well.
17 minutes played for Maccas. First term for A-grade alls and batteries.
Not taking Jake Sharp today.
I don't have Jake Sharp today, no.
17-point lead to the Saints for game traffic and contracting. McCarroll, that's Harry, off a step into the pocket. 2 Rovers versus Big Riley Smith down there. Comes towards Harrington. Does well. Spins out of traffic. Snaps on goal. And it rolls and rolls and rolls through for a minor score from Damon Harrington. And that lead stretches out to an even 3 goals. 20 plays 2. And we've got more issues with the scoreboard like we did last week at Button Park.
It couldn't be worse than that.
Well, they just said Jake Sharp kicked a goal. Anyway,
just delayed.
3-2-20 to the Rovers, 2 behinds.
Murray marks the kick in. He's at half-back. He's in a good part of the ground there, and he goes right across the ground. Looks like McCarthy out there takes the mark. It's a penetrating kick from Sam. He'll kick it over the top, try to pick up Charlie Thompson. It's a beautifully weighted kick. Thompson marks between wing and half forward. He'll go short. Schulte's the target. Finds him. Unloads it again. Back to Thompson. Runs his full measure. Scrubby little kick. Clean bowl Del Bosco. Kick off the ground by McCarroll was clever. Ball in dispute. Goes back inside. Not quite yet. Monty, hold your pen on that inside 50. It stays out. It's going to be a ball up from umpire Bull. And Myrtleford on the scoreboard it shows 0-all. It's 20-7 at the moment.
2.
22, is it?
20-2. The Rovers are yet to kick a goal. Big Mac.
It's back.
It is back. We'll have troubles all day. This new scoreboard system, which we found out all about last week, is poor. Here's Calogero. Left foot snap out of defence for the Saints. Gains about 25 metres. That had to be a push in the back against the Saints for Charlie Thompson. Lewis back inside 50 for the Rovers. Spills the way here as Schulte. Can he pick it up? He can't be clean. Right in the mud patch. 20 metres out in front of Rovers' goal. We'll have a ball up as Schulte is beset upon by a couple of Saints. And a dangerous spot for the Wangaratta Rovers, who are yet to kick a goal in this opening quarter. We've played almost 20 minutes.
He's given a free kick.
He has?
Yeah.
Wow. Explain, please, Monty.
I think it might have been a hold. Philo had front position. I think they might have just grabbed the jumper, and it was the umpire out of zone that come in and paid it. As you can see by 2 of them standing next to each other there.
I was talking as if it's a stoppage. It's a free kick to Brodie Philo directly in front, who nails it. A steal line goal today, contender. Not sure what it was for, but the Rovers will take it. They move to 1-2-8 to the Saints 3-2-20. That's on the game traffic and contracting scoreboard.
Yeah, pretty sure it was for a hold just in that contest there. The umpire who was adjacent to it wasn't able to pick it up. The guy who had a better view about 50 metres away come in and paid it. So really good finish. Brodie Philo, he's up to the 7 touches now inside 20 minutes of this game, and he's really starting to get moving. We know what a damaging kick he is on a dry day, but he's just as good on the wet, I think.
Yeah, it's just in these conditions, Mont, to finish like that, 30 out directly in front of you, it's still got to get the job done. And Philo, yeah, he said, beautiful kick of the football all over the ground, but particularly in front of goal. Here's a chance for Sam Murray. Ball got jarred out of his hands by Myrtleford. He did well. Now, this will be interesting. Umpire ring says, give it to me, fellas. And it's going to throw it up there. So Ed Damon, they're in dispute with Cossa. Kick off the ground was clever by Myrtleford. Sam Murray had a swing and the miss. Now he goes again, Sam. Kicks it inside forward 50. Cooper protecting the space. Oh, there's a push. No, play on's the call. Out the back it comes. Kick off the ground by Curtis. Fortuitously finds its way to Cossa. Cossa got it to Jackson East. East drives it long. Over the back's the best bet here. Here's a chance. They'll have to be quick, sharp. Lacked a little bit of pace there. Kick off the ground by the Wangaratta Rovers player. It was Jez Rigoni. Saved the day. Quick snap. Munro. Open goal square. Minor score. Oh, it's all happening there. A bit of quick ball movement. Behind a Myrtleford, 3-3-21. They lead the Wangaratta Rovers 1-2-8. And that's for A-grade oils and batteries. And on the Macca's time clock, Monty, we've gone 21 and a half minutes.
We have just a couple around the grounds quickly. Goal lead to Albury early against the Wodonga Bulldogs. North Albury 26 to the Corowa 14. Yarrawonga have started really well. 3-1-19 lead Lavington, 2 behinds. And an 11-point lead to the Wangaratta Magpies over the Wodonga Raiders currently.
I believe the 4 goals in the Coralliga North Albury game are by the 2 big forwards and Bradkey and Murphy as well, just taking the piss at the top of the Doug string, those 2 boys. Boundary throw in far side. It'll wet Myrtleford Alpine Saints McNamara reserve, but they'll be very happy. But he let him go at the last minute. And Mason Ring says, give it to me. On the far wing, Funky be happy with the start, Monty.
He would be, absolutely. The way they were able to kick, especially in the first 10 minutes, they just got those first 2 goals. They really put them under the pump, and the Rovers have to respond, and they have with one of their own.
Murray tumbles it out of the clearance towards Cooper, who's happy to see it over the boundary line as Murray gains about 40 metres for the Wangaratta Rovers. As Monty just said, Philo kicking the last goal of the game. They're 1-2-8 to the Saints, 3-3-21. 22 minutes gone. Big Mac for the Northo Hotel.
Yeah, Hourigan's got the job at the moment on Nathan Cooper. So I suppose when marking is a lot harder on a day today, Hourigan certainly comes into the fray. So, so far, so good. Again, those options that Funky's got at his disposal. Del Bosco at the back of the pack, kicks it to the middle of the ground. The Bren gun overrun it. Now here's a chance for Parnell. Runs his full measure, drives a tumbler into forward 50. Ball comes to ground. They've got some numbers. Well done, Del Bosco. Hands were good to East. East kicks it in a hurry. They've got plenty of players out there. Here's a chance for Murray. Takes it, has a look at it, and Catapan marks 35 metres out. Very tight angle. Right in front of the scoreboard for game traffic and contracting, which shows a 13-point lead to Myrt.
Ed Damon set up so well there behind the foot. He was able to take that mark, and then the forward handball to Sam, and a really nice kick to find Sam Catapan in the forward pocket.
Could have blazed away then, Robbie.
Yep. That was good from Muzz. Drop punt, boys, from Catapan. Looks like it.
Yep.
Wrong side for the left footer.
A skilled operator, Catapan. This would be handy. Brings it back, but not enough. And it misses to the near side. 1-3-9 Rovers. Myrtleford 3-3-21. We have now gone... Monty, where's our little clock gone?
24 minutes.
Oh, there it is.
Up the top left.
Yeah,
on
we've
the
got our little
scoreboard.
backup here. I don't trust that scoreboard, Panda.
Well, neither do I, to be really honest. I don't trust any scoreboard in the O&M with this new system. Play HQ, just doing wonders since
Robbie
it was
rates
brought
the old
into...
one at Albury.
Oh, my word.
And the old one at the
thanks,
Rovers.
Mike.
Never any problems there.
Yep.
Kick down the line. Parnell punches it, but it's picked up by Calogero, who torpedoes it down the line. Riccardi and also Charles Ledger in a tussle. Riccardi applies a good tackle. Ledger was able to get a hand pass out, and it ekes over the boundary line. Good yardage by the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. It's now in their forward half of the ground. Still on the wing, and we'll have it thrown back in. What do you reckon the line would have been for 4 goals in the opening term, boys? I would have taken that.
Yeah, yep.
I would have taken that.
$1.80.
3 goals to the Saints and 1 to the Rovers. East has just brought his own footy. Left-hand hand pass out to Maraca, who kicked off a step. He fell over, and Brody Paul intercepted for the Rovers, who was a mainstay in this defence now, Robbie.
I just took the words out of my mouth there, Panda. He's really become a player, hasn't he? He chips it to Sam Murray. Geez, he set a bit of a task here. Rigoni, and now he's in trouble. Kick off the ground, not great. He's done well, though, the young fella. He fought back magnificently and applied a very good tackle because things were looking a bit grim there. Well played, young man.
Yeah, he made up for it because kicking off the ground on a day like today when you're 2-on-1, you got to make sure you get your boot on it.
Well, the kick from Murray really put him under the pump, to say the least. Murray Hand pass has been intercepted by East, who snaps on goal. Oh, marking the goal square. It's big Riley Sharp, I believe.
Correct.
Playing in front of his man, in front of Charles Ledger, and Riley Sharp has taken a mark in the goal square. He'll go back for number 2.
Jackson East, you spoke about it earlier, just had that clearance there. It was a little bit too clean and too good for everyone else. He's up to the 10 40 winks disposals. Woo. And I'll tell you what, they'll go back here, and this is a handy little lead they're going to have come into quarter time.
They're that confident, they've even already put the goal on the board.
Well, they haven't, Panda.
Well, they did. A little goal message flicked up.
Yeah, I think
Robbie.
it might have restarted. Went back to 0 again, Panda.
Anyway, Riley Sharp directly in front. 20 metres out goes bang. He's got 2, and the Saints have got 4, and it's an 18-point lead again. 4-3-27 to the Rovers, 1-3-9. A wonderful confidence-making mark for Riley Sharp.
Absolutely. He's just too big and too strong. When you're stuck behind him and he's got a nice lean into it, it's very hard to get around, and just too big for Charles Ledger there. So really great start for Sharp with 2 goals. And, of course, Jake's got the one as well. So the Sharp boys on fire.
Yeah, worth their weight in gold, these early ones here in the first quarter. Well, at the moment, the rain has just cleared for a while here. There's no rain about. There's a hint of sunshine, but...
Where are you seeing
Where's
that,
the
Robbie?
sunshine?
Where's the sunshine?
It's coming. I can see it if you look at a little bit of blue sky.
You need to use those binoculars, mate.
Maybe they're fogged up. I'm trying to keep it positive, man. Sorry for trying to up it a bit here. There's a bit of feedback from the coach's boxes. That's okay. Mason, Sam Murray and Calogero just having a little bit of a push and shove there. Catapan. Kick off the ground by Calogero again. Now here comes Murray. Another kick off the ground. Harrington involved. He shimmies, he shakes, and then he kicks it towards the boundary line, and Kieran Parnell can't keep it in, and it'll be a boundary throw in. True centre wing on the far side of the ground here at the McNamara Reserve, and the locals, Myrtleford, hold a 3-goal lead, 27-9. We've gone 27 minutes in the first quarter. That's A-grade oils and batteries.
Some of the leading stat winners, Monty, in the first term.
Yeah, Sam Murray's leading the way with 11 touches, while for Myrtleford, Jackson East has the 10.
Parnell kicks it off the ground. Just outside 50 for the Rovers. What a clean pick-up in the wet by Charlie Thompson, who set sail. Goal square. Christie down there. Oh, in fact, it's Cooper. A wonderful tackle by Pethridge. Stopped a certain goal. Cooper tried to get a foot onto it, but Pethridge tackled him. And it's through for a minor score. 1-4-10 the Rovers to the Saints 4-3-27 on the game traffic contracting scoreboard. A quick kick in, Robbie. It's all of a sudden it's in the middle of the ground.
Yeah, Curtis and Bren got it. Shoveled a handball out, but he heard the call. Trouble is it was from a couple of Wangaratta Rover players. Maraka, handball to no one. Trouble here. Siren comes at a very handy time there. Ends a good quarter of footy, Panda. Myrtleford will take the lead at quarter time. 4-3-27. Wangaratta Rovers 1-4-10.
Stay with us. Our quarter's best for Albury Vital Air on the other side of this, and a whole lot of other stuff on O&M Live. Second quarter on the other side of this. It's O&M Live, the Saints and the Rovers. Where you won't. It's the thing.
Clear.
Thank you, mate.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Shawty get inspired. How about that? How about that? This time.
Welcome to Sundancer Homes. We make building your dream home exciting and stress-free. Backed by over 30 years of experience, one of many reasons why we provide a lifetime structural guarantee. Visit our information centre at Dean Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Dry 3.5. Embrace the mid.
My family is my first priority. We go on adventures. We treat each other well. We look after one another. And Tobin Brothers Funerals will treat you like family too. They take pride in creative funeral solutions and will fulfill you and your family's wishes. So if it's legal, it's possible. Tobin Brothers Funerals, family owned since 1934. And now, caring for your family here in Wodonga and Corowa. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
There's a home, there's
With Optus Home Internet, you get more yes. Whoa. Which means less family screen time and more harmony with powerful Wi-Fi. Woo. Get the Ultra Wi-Fi modem at no extra cost.
Reserve, where it is a handy lead, a very handy lead, a 7-point lead to the Myrtleford Alpine Saints over the Wangaratta Rovers here at the McNamara Reserve. King's birthday long weekend. Hope you're having a cracking Saturday, Arvo. Blake Panderescott with you, Roberto McKinlay and Scotty Montgomery, who's got our Albury Vital Air's quarters best. Albury Vital Air now in Wangaratta, helping you breathe easier day and night.
Yeah, I think it was pretty easy in that first quarter. Jackson East with 10 touches was fantastic around the ground and had a lot of clearances as well. While it was a bit of a toss-up over for the Rovers between Sam Murray and Charlie Thompson. I think Charlie Thompson had a little bit more impact on the game with his 10 touches, while Sam Murray's had the 11. So I think I'll go quarters best, Charlie Thompson and Jackson East from each team.
In terms of some of the team stats, Monty, why do the Myrtleford Alpine Saints have a 17-point lead over the Rovers?
Yeah, they had 11 clearances and a 9 inside 50s, but the Rovers were on top. They had 14 clearances and 13 inside 50s. They were just able to convert a little bit quicker and a little bit easier. I feel their ball use was a lot better and a lot more long and direct sort of football rather than dry weather football, which it feels like the Rovers are still trying to play.
What do you think the main message will be for Craig Funky Miller at quarter time and for Sam Murray?
I think Sam would have been a lot more. We've got to go win the footy first a bit more. I think they've been second to the footy a little bit too much to start this game. They need to make sure they're going to get their head over it and go and get it. Well, for Funky, he would have been pretty happy with the way they started. They've had 7 shots in a bit of a dour day. You'd take that for a quarter of footy, so they've just got to make sure they keep converting, keep taking their opportunities and be on top in the middle of the ground.
Might go around the grounds quickly as well for Evolution Roofing here in the Ovens and Murray. Round 8, some cracking games. Albury 3-1-19, lead Wodonga 2-4-16 at the Sports Ground. North Albury with a 13-point lead over Coro at 4-3-27 to Coro Rutherglen 2-2-14. Yarrawonga 3-1-19, leading Lavington 1-2-8. And Wangaratta with a 5-goal lead at quarter time over the Raiders 7-1-43 to the Raiders 2-2-14. Alrighty, so second quarter about to get underway. 5 goals in that opening term, which I would have taken if you offered me that at the start of the game, Big Mac.
Yeah, and if you look at it too, you had 12 scoring shots, haven't you? 4-3 to 1-4. So, no, it was good quarter footy. I was very impressed the way. I thought Myrtleford put the ball in better areas. That was the reason why they were able to score from that drier pocket on a couple of occasions.
How have you found the ruck duel so far, Monty?
It's been pretty even as Sandwich gets fed. I think it's been pretty even. Both have obviously got the 2 ruck options, and I feel both rucks have had a good around the ground sort of influence.
I'm back. Good. Sandwich, crust, gone. Catapan, left foot clearance, tumbles it to half forward, so the Rovers are now kicking to the town end. Oh, McCarthy, the big bull, breaks through, 2 big tackles. Equally, a wonderful smother from Riley Calveen. Stopped a forward entry inside forward 50. And we have a ball up about 40 out.
He's paid too high.
Oh, okay.
The second one?
Yep, Monty for...
it was Mason out of zone too. So another one where they've pulled it from out of zone. So he's getting a better view from different angles.
Wasn't Mawson's concrete smother of the day.
Yep.
From Riley Calveen. The mark has been intercepted by Kieran Parnell on the wing for the Wangaratta Rovers. And we're going to have a bit of footy on this side of the ground, which is good to see. Charles Ledger at half-back. Hugs the boundary line. O'Brien straight through his mitts. Philo edges it smartly 20 metres down the line off the ground, and we'll have it thrown back in, let's say 50 around from the Wangaratta Rovers goal, who are kicking to the town end. The Myrtleford Alpine Saints to the paddock, or Lake Buffalo end, as Robbie likes to call it. And it's a 17-point lead to the Saints.
It goes on at Lake Buffalo.
Fond memories of Lake Buffalo, where dreams are brought back to earth. O'Brien, who hasn't seen a lot of it today. Murray, now Del Bosco, hurried kick into the middle of the ground. Good contest there by Sharp. That was Riley. Smith tracks a few of them.
Oh.
Can't get at him though. Good work by Joel Smith for Rovers. Off half back. Pumps it long. Ball comes to ground now. Good contest. Far side of the ground. Rovers are a big chance here. Hurry kick. High up and under. It'll go out of bounds on the full. So the Myrtleford pressure has been outstanding. It'll be Harrington who'll bring it back from the netball pocket. We haven't had any netball scores today. We might, just another little task for you, Mon, at some opportunity. Just to...
Got nothing else to do.
No, that's right. Panda, for the Norvo, have a crack.
I will, with a couple of frothies there tonight as well. As Harrington goes down the line, Riley Smith, the meat between 2 sandwiches. And
are we meeting there again tonight at the Norvo?
We are, yep. We are. Boundary throw in far side.
Just a couple of netball scores, boys. Raiders were too good for Wangaratta. North Albury and Cora have played an absolute thriller. 1-goal win to the Cora Rutherglen Roos. Albury too good for Wodonga. Here at the McNamara Reserve, Myrtleford too good for the Rovers. And a massive win for Yarrawonga. They've won by 13 goals against Lavington.
They're back in town, aren't they?
They are.
They get going when they need to.
I'm not sure they ever left.
Well, they're the premiers, aren't they?
They're the reigning premiers, 2 years in a row.
Sorry, guys.
Boundary throw in.
Sorry.
Far side, second quarter for Jaco Albury-Wodonga. We're going to have a few Jacos parked in the caravan in the garage this weekend. Kick off the ground from the Saints. Lands in the middle of the ground. Catapan, left foot torpedo, mongrel inside 50. Pethbridge takes a Mawson's concrete mark of the day in front of Alex McCarthy. There's a chance to rebound for the Saints at half-back, who still lead by 17 points. We've played 3 minutes to Macca's Robbie. No score in the second quarter.
Good penetrating kick from a long way back. Riley Smith cleared a pack. Sam Murray read it beautifully, and he decides to go long. Great kick. Beautifully spotted the big fella Cooper. To the forward pocket, McCarthy won't get there in time. The kick was a little bit stray out there in the forward pocket. The kick came in from McCartney, I think it was.
Stone,
Dill Stone, who hasn't seen a lot of it today either, I don't think.
I'm not doing his numbers.
No, you're not doing him. I'm going to stuff him. Go on, Panda. Get into it.
He's gone backwards a little bit this year. Needs to be a bit better. Get his numbers up. Get his numbers up.
Coming back from a long-term knee injury.
No, I don't. No, I'm just trying to do what Dan Bacara. That's what he does, isn't it? Just bag.
Del Bosco tried to get boot to ball. Tenardi. Outside of the boot, tumbling punt down the line. McQuaid left it behind. Riley Smith applying pressure at ground level. Catapan retreats to McQuaid, who went over his head. Maraca sliding in on hands and knees at ground level, and we'll have a ball up, says Mason Ring. Out on the far wing, true centre wing. Monty?
Nearly 4 minutes gone. Myrtleford yet to be inside 50 in this quarter.
For 40 winks, Monty dominating today, and also special comments for Corowa Tiles as Calagero on the long sleeves. Back to another man in the long sleeves, Calveen. Dribbling kick down the line, Del Bosco. Saints have numbers, but it's a free kick to the Rovers for a hold on centre wing. It'll come back to the middle of the ground. Big Mac?
Yeah, I didn't see that one there. They were going forward with a lot of depth there. In fact, they're going to go and fetch the ball. How about that? It's just sitting there over the boundary line there. Go and get it. If you want it, Stoney.
It's not even his kick.
This is a chance to do a torpedo. A little nicky one there. Well, there you go, Panda. What do you make of all that?
Yeah, not much really, Robbie.
Yeah, I gathered that by your response.
Just waiting for the game to restart, really.
It's a poor kick.
Hasn't nailed it yet this quarter, has it? The game is tricky conditions at the moment. Another boundary throw in. Yeah, it's just a bit flat here at the moment, isn't it?
What are you doing tonight, Big Mac?
Yeah, I'm going to the Norvo with you. Yeah, we might get on it here, Panda, tonight.
May as well.
We've got a couple of days to get over
Lockie
it.
Horrigan with us.
King's birthday. If he kicks 4 goals, I'll be up here in Myrtleford all night with Lockie Horrigan. Curtis is there lurking with the young fella, Schulte. Good handball by Schulte. Got it to Thompson. Kicks it towards the top of the goal square. Oh, good effort from Myrtleford defender there. Calvin, I think it was. Pethbridge. And he's been pinged.
Oh.
Wow. That's tough, Panda. You saw it. You call it, mate.
He was over the boundary line, was Pethbridge, and McCarthy tackled him over the boundary line, I think, and umpire said holding the ball as Murray from just outside 50 kicks at the top of the goal square. Christie got nudged under the footy. It was good defence and good body work by Myrtleford. East gets past the tackle. Wonderful hand pass over to Capillari. It's fair to say his jumper's not all that dirty. Brent retreats to East, off a step, kicks to wing. Good, well intercepted by Charles Ledger, who has too much pace for Riley Smith. Oh, wonderful effort there from Horrigan, who come over the top with a big defensive fist. Murray still inside forward 50, dropped the ball. Smith said that should have been holding the ball as Harrington kicks it for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints in the middle of the ground, and Munro's away.
He is. Can he get him past his opponent? He can't. He kicks it in a hurry. McQuaid, he's got the drop on Sharp here. He will. Beautifully. Kicks the ball off the ground. Give him a jersey in the Socceroos. Finds its way to now to Dylan Stone. He shimmied, shaked, inside handball to Catapan. Back to Allison. Allison now. He'll go down the flank. It's going nowhere. And Mitch Del Bosco just reads the ball as good as anyone in the comp, particularly in these conditions. Takes a saving mark at half-back. Myrtleford 27, Wang Rovers 10.
One of the Myrtleford boys who Panda this touched on, whose jumper's not very dirty, Capillari, only the 3 touches to this stage of the game.
So the Saints in the back pocket through Calvin. Wonderful exiting kick, finds Curtis. Defensive side of the wing. Plays on straight away. Pops it into the pocket. Big Cossa. Caught one around the chop. Said, get stuffed, Joel Smith. A wonderful Mawson's concrete mark of the day. On to Caligiero. Left foot kick. Just fell on the lap of Decky Brand, who can line up for the first score of this quarter and give the Saints a 23-point lead, 5 metres out directly in front.
Someone's having a big say in this game. Not having a lot of touches, but Simon Curtis, what he's doing, he's hitting targets every single time he's got the footy, and that was a big grab there from Cossa. Would have been a turnover and going the other way if he didn't take that grab. And then the kick inside 50 from Caligiero was fantastic.
So Declan Brent has had a quietish year so far, just playing his role every week. Directly in front, makes no mistake. The Saints extend the lead by another major. It's out to 23 points, 5-3-33 to 1-4-10. I tell you what, the Rovers wouldn't want to concede the next one, Monty.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I just see all their defensive stuff hasn't been great when it's actually gone inside 50 quickly. I don't think they've got the height like Myrtleford do down there, so just got to get it in there quick, give them one-on-ones, give the big guys a chance, and don't allow the Rovers to drop off and zone off like they normally like to do.
Monty, what were those inside 50s for 40 winks as we're leading into that goal?
So it was 4-1,
yeah.
And that was only the second time they've gone inside 50.
Yep. So first goal of the second quarter, and Myrtleford get it. They lead 33-10 on Snap Print Solutions O&M Live TV. Hope you're enjoying it if you're at home. Or if you're on the wireless, listen to Edge FM 101.2. Great to have your company.
102.1, Robbie.
Sorry, 102.1. Oh,
it's your first call on Edge FM too, Big Mac.
Yeah, it is, I think. And how lucky for Edge FM. So
they got a good workday announcer, Edge FM.
We're going to come back here. What'd you do, Panda?
Who is it?
Not sure.
Righto. So there we go. Take it away, Panda. You're a bit toey here at the moment.
Beautifully described as Harrington goes inside 50 through East Mitts. Out the back here working hard is Murray. At ground level, in fact, it's Philo who gets a free kick. Yep, for a high. He had his head over the footy, and the Rovers play on with the advantage deep in defence. Murray goes short, finds Del Zotto, who will play it on under pressure. Hand pass it to Parnell. Left foot high up and under. 2 Myrtleford Alpine Saints up against Justin Lewis. Pethbridge sockers it off the ground. It's going to come back to Murray at half-back on the broadcast side. A wonderful shepherd.
Yeah.
And Thompson retrieves the hand pass and kicks off a step. It's a poor one. Didn't look at his options. It's been marked by Pethridge, who intercepts for the Saints.
Yeah, good kick too. It's marked at midfield here.
Capillari.
It is Tommy Capillari with the ball in hand. He'll go short off the left foot.
Good kick.
Kicks a good one. Finds Simon Curtis. Curtis Deep penetrating. Watch Smith from behind. Might have given a bit of a nudge. Play on to call. East. Snap on goal. Just misses to the far side. Would have been a very nice little snag. 5-4-34. Wangaratta 1-4. Rovers 1-4-10. It's a 24-point lead. We've gone 10 minutes on the Macca's time clock. And that was all on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard.
Just that ball movement there from Myrtleford was fantastic. Got it in nice and deep again. The big fella, Smith, just competed, brought it to ground level. And Jackson East, he just does it all over the ground. He gets back and helps defensively. He's in the midfield. And then his crumbing work, he's first class.
So Allison with the kicking duties for the Wang Rovers. Goes short to Murray. How many now, Monty?
This was Sammy coming up for 7 for the quarter, 18 for the game.
7 for the quarter. We've only played 10 minutes. Brought his own footy, goes short. Good kick, finds Catapan. It's what the Rovers do well. They hold on to the football. Gives it back to Murray, who tries to get around 2 tacklers.
They gives it a bit too.
Yeah, to Catapan. Torpedo kick intercepted by Pethbridge, who is the wall of the Rock of Gibraltar at the moment, Big Mac, and he marks on centre wing.
The Bricky of Bustleton. Not much gets around him, is it?
He's having a great quarter, isn't he, Zach Pethbridge? He's been fantastic. He's held up. I reckon that's probably his 4th intercept mark already in this quarter, so he's been fantastic.
So Sammy Murray there just having a bit of a chat to the bench when he's in the proximity here. And just a little bit of confusion there. That's a good boundary throw in. Wow, that's a cracker. Smith got the tap. Here's East again. Picked it up beautifully, low to the ground. Calogero, clever work there by Catapan. Ball might get out now. Lewis is hovering around. Oh, that was a high tackle. Play on the call. Well done, Catapan. Just forced himself upon the ball. McCarthy, Calvin. McCarthy stays with it. Now he might get his hands on it. Does. Slipped a handball beautifully. Dylan Wilson, snap. It'll roll. It'll bounce. The pressure's here on the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. And they're going to knock it out over the boundary line. Eventually,
ball up.
It's going to be balled up. So just inside the boundary. Big chance here for the Rovers. Need to score here. And it is... Well, it's not going to go anywhere there because it's Calogero who runs it back out over the boundary line. Still close, Jason, to the behind post. The rain and the sleet comes in again. Myrtleford lead by 24 points. Here's Panda for the Norvo.
CMV truck and bus scoreboard. We've played 12 minutes for Macca's. Saints with a very handy lead here in the second quarter for Jaco Orbridong at Damon. Big way for the... Long way for the big boy to bend down. The Saints win it, and Damon goes off the ground with a nice little tumbling kick. Capillari over the footy. In fact, it was McCarroll. Lewis soccers it off the ground. Riley Smith put himself in the hole as the big ruckman in defence. He's been brought down by Dylan Wilson, David and Goliath, and we'll have a ball up 40 out from Rovers' goal.
Got some numbers around the ball, haven't they?
Yep. It's a sloppy game, as Big Mac described beautifully. Sleet just falling here at the McNamara Reserve. East pushed off the footy at the last minute. Horrigan, good hand pass to Tenardi. It just seems like he's got more time, and he punts it inside 50. There's no one there, Big Mac. In fact, Riccardi's the first there.
He is. He kicks it in soccer style. Oh, he's knocked off the ball by Paul. Handball back towards Ledger. He handballed. Stone took his eye off the footy. Clever work from Munro. Got a kick off the ground. The Brent gun has a shot. He had a little bit more time. He even had Tommy Capillari on his outside. That's what he wanted. But the Bren gun got a bit greedy, and it's gone out for a boundary throw-in. But, gee, they've made it. They pushed them up the ground there, Mont, and created space going forward.
Yeah, it was really good, wasn't it? Nice long kick. And then inside 50, Riccardi's pressure was fantastic to keep it in there as well.
Boundary throw-in next to the point post, favouring the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. Riccardi, his kick was smothered. Rovers first there. One of those O'Brien, who's been quiet.
That's out in the full.
That is.
Off Matty Munro.
He kicked it into the back of Matty Munro's boot. And it went out on the full.
Stiff.
Very stiff. Munza had no idea what was happening, and it's a free kick to the Rovers, and O'Brien goes out wide. Juggling attempt out there from Ed Damon. Philo, beautiful little dummy and shake and bake. And then a left foot 60-metre punt down the line. Here's a chance for Lewis, who taps it forward 20 metres. He had 2 Myrtleford Alpine Saints to beat. McCarroll fumbles it smartly over the boundary line in front of the old scoreboard here at the McNamara Reserve, and it's going to be tossed back in 4 to centre for the Rovers.
Sam Catapan had a very slow start to this game, only 3 touches in the first quarter. He's up to 9 for this quarter alone already.
Yeah, I was just about to ask about his stats, Mont. He's really had an impact. He's forced himself upon this game at the moment, Sam Catapan. Gee, they need one very shortly here, the Rovers. Trail up by 4 goals. Thompson is tackled. He did well. He got it out. Good tap there by Capillari. Now Jackson East again. Off the left foot. Kicks down the line. From behind, Cossa had a couple of nibbles at it. Over the ball was Joel Smith. He's been infringed upon. A little bit fierce and aggressive there from Cossa. The man who threw Panda out of the hotel.
It's having a nice
Parnell
chat with him.
kicks it off half back. A spiralling kick. It makes ground, Panda.
Curtis.
Del Bosco intercept. Oh, sorry, Curtis, 1-2.
And then he torpedoes it 50 metres down the line. Rovers with the 3-on-1 here. Bren did well to punch it towards Riccardi, who goes on his left. Snap around the corner. Bren falls in his lap, does well. Gives it back to Riccardi, who gets around and goes inside forward 50. And Del Zotto takes the high up and under mark. Goes out wide. Not a great kick. The Saints might win it back here through Calogero. Riccardi at ground level. Mason Ring says, give it to me. We'll have a ball up on the attacking 50, favouring the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. Monty?
5-point lead to Wodonga against Albury. We've got a massive lead starting to open up for North Albury. It's out to 27 points. 1 point to Yarrawonga in front of Lavington, and a 41-point lead to Wangaratta Magpies versus the Raiders.
Chrissy got the tap. East, clever kick. Centres the ball up. Chest mark was dropped. Ball spills free now. Here's a chance here. Snap. Might have been Maraca on goal. Open goal square. Needs a good bounce. It stays in. And now it goes out over the boundary line for McQuaid. And it will be tossed back in. 10 metres around from the Myrtleford goal, Panda. They lead by 24 points.
Those around the ground scores from Monty, all thanks to the crew at Evolution Roofing. Great to have them on board in 2025. Second term for Jaco Orbradonga. Jumper to Jaco, the best jingle in radio. And it's thrown back in a good spot for the Alpine Saints. Calogero gets a 40 winks disposal, and we have a big tackle inside 50. Lots of players around this pill, and we'll have a ball up 30 out from Saints goal. We've kicked the only goal in this second quarter through Robbie's man Declan Brand at the 7th minute. Whistle and a ruck raffle free kick. It's going to go the way of Will Christie, deep in defence for the Rovers, who trail by 24 points.
How do they pick that? Like, they were both grabbing and pulling each other around. I just don't understand how they can pick one of them.
It was a decision for the game, I reckon. Good grab by Big Cossa. He's starting to have a bit of an impact here too. Geez, you know he's around. Not a bad kick either. The target at the back was Smith. Ball doesn't go that far. Here's Maraca. He's got time to do something here. He's clever. It's a good kick. He finds Riccardi. This will test him, Mont.
Yeah, I think he's got the distance pretty comfortably. Yeah, absolutely. He's only going to kick it about 40, 45, so I'll back him in here.
All right.
But just the movement, as soon as they win the footy back, when Costas took that mark, they really exploded away and opened up their forward line, gave him a chance, and a nice kick from Maraca to find Riccardi.
So Riccardi, he'll kick it from 43 metres. He hooks it. He had the journey. It goes over the back fence. And it was a real late outswinger. And it goes through for a minor score. But handy point, 5-5-35 to 1-4-10. Myrtleford lead Rovers. Almost 18 minutes gone on the Macca's time clock. And we're doing this for Panda's favourite jingle on radio, Jaco Orbradonga. If you haven't heard it, make sure you do.
Well, Robbie might sing it for you at half time. Out of defence, the Rovers go. It's been hemmed in their Myrtleford Alpine Saints attacking half for the last 5 or so minutes. Curtis wins it back. McCarroll just a fumble. Important little 1%ers in this sort of conditions. We have a ball up, probably 60 around from Myrtleford's goal on the far side.
A few schooners deep at the Norvo, I might sing it, Panda.
Absolutely. I like it. O'Brien taps it forward for the Rovers. Catapan got a hand pass out to Thompson, who did well to break out of 2 tackles and find a man in Sam Murray, who tried to get past Munro, who said, no, sirree. Free kick holding the ball to the way of the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. They play on with an advantage. East on to Maraca. Snaps on goal. Oh, it's marked by Big Riley Smith. The resting ruckman put that down to the tackle from Matty Munro on Sam Murray. It was a Mawson's Concrete player of the day. And Smith, do you reckon he can run around and snap a big one here, Monty?
I'll back him in. I know a few of you people in the O&M Live team don't like ruckman having shots on goal, but I'll back him in here.
So Big Riley Smith can extend the margin to 31 points, and he's missed.
No, I didn't.
Didn't get the right connection from foot to ball. It's a long way for that big boy, and it threw for a minor score. 5-6-36. It's a 26-point healthy margin to the way of the Saints. 1-4-10. The Wangaratta Rovers at the 20th minute mark for Macca's. That's on the C&V Truck and Bus scoreboard. Second term for Jaco. Big Mac.
Thanks, Panda. Just got an interesting 40-wing stat for you. 2 boys, I think, on the ground at the moment. The only player I can see with their socks up is Riley Sharp. And you can make what you like of that. But he really stands out in those green socks.
He does.
Yeah.
Big long legs.
Allison plays on, the skipper. Down the line, from behind. The punch was good by Cossa. The Rovers, though, they just can't penetrate past centre wing here. Now they might. They're going to have to get a little bit daring. Over the top, it comes to Wilson. There's no one at home. He can't really have a bounce, so he handballs. He goes backwards.
Oh, the drop kick!
The drop kick! It wasn't, was it?
It was a drop kick!
It was a drop kick! I don't believe what I see. Are you kidding me?
That was a 1960s drop kick, Robbie.
I don't think he meant it, did he?
No.
I don't think he meant it at all.
I don't think he did. He's a genius. It's probably the last option I'd use on a day like today. But Lockie O'Brien, he goes short. O'Brien kicks a good one.
How good.
Oh, it's a beauty. It finds Wilson. Dylan Wilson will have a shot 35 out directly in front.
As we hear a bit of feedback from next door, but not much you knew about that. Just a quicker guy on a slower guy, and we've had a bit of a break, and the kick was just too good from Lockie O'Brien. And it's been pretty quiet, I reckon, Lockie O'Brien. We expect a lot more out of him. Just needs to make sure he works his way into this game for the Rovers.
So Wilson, who's had a pretty good quarter, this is a big kick. He'll kick from 35 directly in front. He's pushed it to the right heavily. In fact, they concur, and the umpire says
Scrapes
one behind. So is that their first score for the quarter,
Yep.
Mons?
Yep.
It
It
is.
is.
At the 21-minute mark of the second quarter, Wangaratta Rovers 1-5-11, Myrtleford 5-6-36. And that's for Jaco Albridonga.
So that was their first score from 7 inside 50 in this quarter. Myrtleford have only gone in the 9 times, so 2 more, but they've been able to hit the scoreboard 4 times with the 1 major.
Yep.
I'd love to know how many repeat inside 50s they had too then in a 7 or 8 minute burst, Monty, because the balls...
I reckon it would have been 6 or 7.
Yep, certainly camped inside their attacking half of the ground. And it's a 25-point margin as the ball is just slow to get back to Jake Sharp in the goal square. He's got the kick-in duties for the Saints. Loving his role this year, Jake Sharp. Monty spoke about it before for Corrowood Tiles and went to go long and then went short at the last minute to Kelvin, who's found a happy place in defence this year. He goes short to Lockie Miotto. Likewise, hugs the boundary line, goes short to Del Bosco. This is good footy here by the Myrtleford Alpine Saints.
It's really good game management. There's 22 minutes gone just for half time. They don't want to give away another goal, so just try and control the footy and then kick it nice and long and get some territory.
In fact, it was Lockie Hourigan. Goes to centre wing. Kick smothered by Parnell. Tenardi goes by hand. McCarroll down the line, looking for Sharp in a tussle with McQuaid. Can the Saints have the numbers? Rovers dive over the footy. Mason circling.
Oh.
Damon rips it out of the contest and kicks it down the line for the Rovers.
Tenardi. Oh, Carol Gero did really well. Handball over the top to East. He got one high. Mace said, yep. There's a look. Don't worry about coming in too much, boys. Just don't.
And 50, he's paid 50. Dylan Wilson really gave it to him after he gave the free kick away.
And McCarthy's going on with it. They'll end up giving a double 50 here. Mace won't mind a bit of that. So fiery stuff. Jackson East is the one that will have the kick.
And he's
they
every
don't
chance
want to
of
do
kicking
anything
this.
here. Want to waste this chance. So East has got the shot.
Covered in mud.
45 out, directly in front. We enter time on. East, kick on the way. It's got the legs. You betcha! A goal of the day contender from Steel Line.
Look at Parnell and Del Bosco.
East
There's a bit going on everywhere,
nailed
boys.
it, and that extends the lead for Myrtleford up over 5 goals. They are 6-5-41. It's right on 5 goals, 1-5-11, 30-point margin, 23.5 gone. What happened there, Monty? I missed it. I was focusing on the goals.
So East got the free kick, and then Wilson went on with it, which is what the 50 was paid for, and the Saints boys did not like it. And then there's a lot going on. A few spot fires. Del Bosco and Parnell were into it. We saw Brady Sharp and Jake Sharp into Wilson still. So a fair bit going on, boys. Woo. I love it. But just really good composure from Jackson East to go back and make sure he put that one through.
Having some season is Jackson East. I have to say, surely he's going to be up there in the Morris Medal in the first half of the year, doing everything right for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. And that's a sliding leg there from Sammy Murray, and then a whistle and a free kick, and it's going to go the way of the Saints for a dangerous tackle, I can only assume.
I think it was McCartney was pulling back Smith when he was trying to do a tackle on Allison.
Smith's kick into the man who's probably leading all comers in terms of disposals, is he, Monty?
Yeah, I've got him up for 8 for the quarter, 18 for the game. Him and Sam Murray are the leaders.
And he's kicked a goal as well. Ordinary kick from Jackson East, out of bounds on the full. It's the first discrepancy in his game all day. And a free kick to the Rovers on centre wing, who have it all to do here. They trail by 5 goals and have not been in this position at all in 2025. They've had everything their own way. Murray goes long down the line. Sharp got 2 hands to it and dropped at the last minute. Big tackle from McCartney. Sharp still on the ground, covered in mud. There's a little bit of argy-bargy here. The players aren't liking it from both sides. That was a strong thrown there from Calvin almost. Little jumper punch. We're loving it here on O&M Live. 25 minutes gone in this second quarter for Jaco. Parnell's set. In fact, Catapan's kick was smothered. Lots of players around this pill. Let them have it, Big Mac, for the Northo Hotel.
It's still going on. Have a look at this. There's a little bit of fire and brimstone here.
Good work, Mason. Throw it up.
Absolutely. Dylan Stone's involved there. Catapan. Oh, clever by Philo. They got the numbers back.
It's going to be a free kick against Dylan Stone. Against Dylan Stone, boys.
Declan Brent's come in.
He got Lockie Miotto on the ground and just drove his head in the ground, and he's still going at it. So free kick to Myrtleford.
Well, they've just lost the plot a bit here, the Rovers.
It's going to explode here.
Yep. They really, and this is the thing. You need just leader. Sam Murray needs to get his troops together and settle him down.
Well, who's got there?
It's Lockie Miotto. Yeah, he's the one who should have the free kick too.
He's got his jumper ripped off around his ankles.
Well, here we go. Simon Curtis from the free kick. Took the pass, kicked it long. They got no one at home. Here's Harrington. It's still going on. Harrington goes short and the mark's taken by Jake Sharp. Gee, that was gut running by Jake Sharp. He said, stuff the blue. I want the footy, and he ran inside forward 50, and he's taken a mark 45 out directly in front.
Yeah, how good is that? They've concentrated on the footy there. As soon as they got the free kick, they switched into football mode where the Rovers were still going on for a lot of push and shove around the ground. Just need to switch on here. This could extend out to 6 goals on half time, and I don't know how the Rovers are going to respond to it.
Just watching Simon Curtis now running down to the gold square, just that little 1%er. He might be able to help out with a Shepherd. You never know. The journey's going to test him here, Mont. Jake Sharp.
He's already kicked one.
Yes, from a snap from 15 metres out. He's just making sure where the man on the mark is and where I can run to, because he's probably looking to try to run in a bit of dry ground.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. He's such a switched-on character, is Jake Sharp.
So big kick. Myrtleford lead by 5 goals. Kick after the siren. Jake Sharp on his way now. Runs inside forward 50 from 44 metres out. Kick on the way. Jake Sharp has just missed to the left-hand side. They were ready to celebrate. They were ready to party. I tell you what, they've done well. It's a 31-point lead. They'll go into half-time with. We had a very fiery finish to the game, Panda, but it's a 31-point lead. How about that? Jaco Albriadonga, you have provided us with a sensational quarter of footy.
Spot fires everywhere. The Saints are up and about, as they should be. They've been outstanding in this first half here at their home ground, which they make a fortress in these conditions. Half-time show for Maccas on the other side of the break. It's the Saints by 31 points. And on O&M Live, you will not miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Inspired, how about that? How about that? This time.
Welcome to Sundancer Homes. We make building your dream home exciting and stress-free. Backed by over 30 years of experience, one of many reasons why we provide a lifetime structural guarantee. Visit our information centre at Dean Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Drive 3.5. Embrace the mid.
My family is my first priority. We go on adventures. We treat each other well. We look after one another. And Tobin Brothers Funerals will treat you like family too. They take pride in creative funeral solutions and will fulfill you and your family's wishes, so if it's legal, it's possible. Tobin Brothers Funerals, family owned since 1934. And now, caring for your family here in Wodonga and Corowa. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Hey! In my heart there's a home. There's
With Optus Home Internet, you get more yes. Which means less family screen time and more harmony with powerful Wi-Fi. Get the Ultra Wi-Fi modem at no extra cost.
Treat him there, a loyal band of fans to a real treat here. They lead at half-time, 6-7-43, Wangaratta 1-5-11. We're into the half-time break here for Maccas. And Monty, first up, mate, I will get you to whip around the grounds for Evolution Roofing and just see what's happening in the other four matches in the SS&A Ovens and Murray Football League.
Yeah, so half-time at all other grounds. Wangaratta Magpies going a little bit too well. They've got a nice 57-point lead over the Raiders. Yarrawonga and Lavington playing probably nearly the closest game of the round. 5-3-33 Lavington, 4-6-30 the Pigeons, so 3-point lead there. 28-point lead to North Albury over Corowa. And another close game too, a 2-goal lead to Wodonga. So they've turned that one around a little bit. They've had 14 shots to 7, so only a 2-goal lead, but they've had the extra 7 shots over the Albury Tigers.
32-point lead here to the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. It's fair to say, well earned, I think, as well.
Yep.
The Rovers did probably convert in the first quarter. They won 5-11 to the Saints, 6-7-43, but certainly owned large patches of that second quarter, Monty.
Well, the Rovers only kicked the 1 point for the whole quarter, so I feel that probably tells us exactly where they're at, and I thought they probably concentrated on maybe the man a little bit more. There's obviously a lot going on off the ball, and they sort of lost the plot a little bit there, especially the last 2 or 3 minutes. So I think Myrtleford just stuck to their guns. They're moving the footy a lot better. They're trying to control it in the back half, and then they're going to go long to half forward and try and just get territory that way. Whereas it looks like the Rovers are probably going a bit longer, a bit earlier, and therefore they're not getting the ground coverage or the territory like Myrtleford are able to do.
I feel like the Myrtleford Bigs have probably got on top as well, which is a big thing considering Ed Damon and Will Christie pretty much been non-factors for mine in today's game.
Yeah, I think around the grounds, I think Ed Damon's been all right in the ruck. I think they've probably nullified the ruck a little bit, but once it hits ground level, Cossa and Smith are just going to town and doing a great job. And when they're forward too, they've looked like really, really likely types who are going to take a mark every time it goes near their hands.
What are the inside 50 numbers and some of the numbers on the stat sheet, Monty?
Some of the numbers at half-time, they're pretty close, actually, which you get in games like this. Clearances at the moment, it's 19-20 the Rovers' way. Inside 50s is 21-20, which is Myrtleford's way. Some of our individual possession getters, Matt Munro only had a quiet quarter that quarter. He's only had the 9. Colagero's had 11. Simon Curtis with 11. Jackson East has nearly been best man on the ground for mine. He's had 18 to half-time. Tommy Capillari needs to really get going. He's only had the 4. While on the other side, the Rovers, they've had lots of possessions, and all their main possession getters are really high, with Brodie Filo, 13. Sam Murray's had the 20, leading possession getter on the ground. Charlie Thompson, 15. Kieran Parnell's had 10 from half-back. And Sam Catapan really got going in that quarter. He had 11 touches in the quarter to take him to 14 at half-time.
Sam Murray with the 20. I feel like he hasn't had much of an impact on the game, though, Monty.
No, he gets a lot of 1-2s, doesn't he? And a day like today doesn't actually get you a lot of territory. So I feel he needs to probably maybe play a different role. He might have to go forward or just give him something different, I think, because their midfield with Catapan and Filo's looking very dangerous. The smaller guys who cover the ground really well and kick the ball long. Whereas Sam, I feel, needs to get a bit more dangerous and do a bit more damage with his kicking.
I feel like they've just been a little bit cleaner for mine, Robbie. Personified by an effort in that second quarter. Joshi Maraka picked the ball up outside 50, could have completely blazed away. He kicked it into the pocket, lowered his eyes to Riccardi, who didn't kick the goal, but it just feels like they've been cleaner going inside 50.
Yeah, they're up for it today, aren't they? And I think they've been kicking the ball in the better areas. And what they've done, they've been really tenacious trying to win that ball midfield. And we've seen a lot of big press up the ground. A lot of times we've seen them kick the ball into open space, and it's it creates a lot of run and a lot of opportunity for guys like Riccardi and the Bren Gun's been really good down there. But I agree with Monty. I think just to talk about clean, the work of Jackson East and Simon Curtis, whenever they've had the ball in their hand, they've just done something really good in these conditions. Apart from one where East kicked one out of bounds on the full wet ball, apart from that, his game has been just fantastic. I've been super impressed. I've heard a bit about him. I believe he played really well in the interleague game, was it?
Yep.
So he's a class player, and probably in these conditions he wouldn't see a lot of it. So well done to him. I'm not sure. It's funny. It's this funny stat, Mont. They're getting a bit of the ball, the Rovers, but there's just no... I think you got to give a lot of credit to that half-back line, that defence of Myrtleford Alpine Saints.
I think
they've really been solid, mate.
Zach Peffybridge's quarter was fantastic. I think he was probably the best in that quarter. I know Jackson East had a lot of it, but I feel Peffybridge's would have taken 4 or 5 intercept marks and was able to set them up really well. And what they're doing, they're just controlling it. They're not blazing. They're taking their time. If they win it back at half-back, they just look for the right option. If it's got to be short, it's got to be short. And if they don't find a short, it's long from there. Whereas I feel the Rovers are rushing a little bit. They're still playing on by handball a little bit too much for the conditions. They just haven't adapted, I don't feel, quick enough. And, we knew the weather was going to be like this, so how this wasn't spoken about during the week in their planning is a funny one.
I feel like Jake Sharp, this is his best game for the year so far. I've watched 3 of his games now, and I feel like he is the leader out there that the Myrtleford Alpine Saints have probably been craving for the last couple of years. He's a bit of a general down there, Robbie and Monty, and he's not doing amazing things, but what he's doing is he's providing a really calm head down in defence.
Well, I feel they've got that all over the ground now. I think Brodie Riccardi inside 50 is really good, as well as Riley Sharp. They give good voice. You got Sharp and then also Simon Curtis in the back half. Just through the middle of the ground, they're a lot younger. Some guys but I feel that now that Jake Sharp's back in there playing on a wing, he's the one that's really setting them up and doing some really good things through there. So I think it's just helped them be really covered all over the ground with good leadership, and he just plays both ends of the ground. He works really hard defensively to help out as the skinny side winger. And then when he's got to go the other way and get attacking, he does, as we saw he had the shot late in the quarter.
I feel like the Rovers have just been off today. They've been stunned. The first time I've seen them like that this year. I feel like they're going to back themselves to grind away and get themselves back into this game.
Yeah.
Do you think they have that in the Monty?
If it's a dry day, I said, yep, absolutely, because they've got the big targets. They can take a mark inside 50. I don't know where their goals are going to come from looking at it today. I thought Alex McCarthy might have been a guy that could hit the scoreboard, but hasn't been able to yet. He has barely touched it, really. So he's someone they've got to try and get into the game a little bit, especially inside 50, I think. I just don't know where their goals are going to come from.
Yeah, Nathan Cooper hasn't really been able to impact the game either. And I think that's good credit to Peffybridge and Hourigan. Look like they're sharing a role on him. It depends where Cooper goes on the ground, who plays on him. I think that's, again, good coaching. But
again, Cooper in wet conditions isn't going to grab it like he has been in the dry.
Mate.
So that's why.
Exactly.
Maybe that's why Hourigan come in, knowing what the conditions were going to be like.
Monty, the Myrtleford small players have looked a lot more damaging around the ground, particularly going forward.
Yes, absolutely.
Really quickly, some around-the-ground scores, half-time in the SS&A, Ovens and Murray. The Albury Tigers 5-2-32, trailing Wodonga 6-8-44. North Albury 7-6-48 over Corowa 3-2-20. Caelan Bradkey's got all 3 goals for Corowa. Lavington are now in front of Yarrawonga 5-3-33 to the Pigeons 4-6-30. And Wangaratta with a big lead over the Raiders 7-6-78 to the Raiders 3-3-21. Before the break, Big Mac.
Yeah, just Tommy Hargraves went off injured about halfway through that second quarter, and Big Rooster has kicked 3 goals.
There you go. Half-time, done and dusted for Macca's. Third quarter on the other side of this. It's O&M Live, where you won't miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Shawty get inspired. How about that? How about that? This time.
Welcome to Sundancer Homes. We make building your dream home exciting and stress-free. Backed by over 30 years of experience, one of many reasons why we provide a lifetime structural guarantee. Visit our information centre at Dean Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Drive 3.5. Embrace the mid.
My family is my first priority. We go on adventures. We treat each other well. We look after one another. And Tobin Brothers Funerals will treat you like family too. They take pride in creative funeral solutions and will fulfill you and your family's wishes, so if it's legal, it's possible. Tobin Brothers Funerals, family owned since 1934. And now, caring for your family here in Wodonga and Corowa. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
There's a home, there's
With Optus Home Internet, you get more yes. Whoa. Which means less family screen time and more harmony with powerful Wi-Fi. Woo. Get the Ultra Wi-Fi modem at no extra cost.
Half-time done and dusted. A couple of egg and lettuce sandwiches, courtesy of the wonderful team here at the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. Demolished.
You had some.
I did, yeah. I offered them to you guys, and you said you didn't want the egg and lettuce, Robbie.
Don't know if I saw it that way, Mont.
Well, we've seen Blake's record when he's had a few egg and lettuce sandwiches. A bit of goes on. So
Are you the captain?
Hopefully, I got.
Are you the captain of the competition?
No, not at all.
Is Angus still the captain?
Yeah,
No,
he can be the captain if he likes. I know it means a lot to him, so he can be the captain if he likes.
So you mean we mean nothing to you? Is that what you're saying?
No,
that's what you said.
No, it's not.
That's exactly what you just said.
I can be the coach.
What's your role, mate?
I'm just a back pocket
Laura
plumber.
Kane role
Is what I am.
Whatever she is.
Don't ever compare me to Laura Kane. 6-7-43 Myrtleford.
We're going to be better than the AFL.
To the Rovers, 1-5-11 as the misty sort of rain continues to fall.
3 players coming off the bench, so there may be an injury for Myrtleford. So
well, I'll give you that task of trying to find out who that is, Monty.
I've only got a few other things on my plate, but anyway, I'll find it out.
You can do it all.
No, don't worry.
4.
Sharpie's coming off 2. Sharpie's coming off 2, so they've got 4.
Righto. Only 3 came off for Wang Rovers. Did you notice that, Mont?
No, I missed that one.
Yeah, only 3. Unless there's someone already in there.
Tell you what, if as a spectator today, you're just happy that you're rocking up to the McNamara because it's one of only 2 grounds you can drive your car in and sit in your car and watch the footy.
I think on a day like today, the windscreen fogs up, so you've got to have the demister on nearly all day.
I wonder how many are listening to us on Edge FM.
Well,
no, I don't want to. It's embarrassing.
I reckon they've got an extra player on the ground, boys. That's why there's only 3 on the bench.
Oh, dear.
There's an extra player. Dylan Wilson has not got an opponent.
Well, we don't want to forecast anything
I'm telling
here.
you.
Can't count them,
Okay, you count him, Monty.
Yep, now he's trying to run off. He's getting told to run off.
Oh, dear.
Saints go forward, inside forward 50. Third term underway here for Wangaratta MG.
Hang on. They're onto it.
Lots of players inside forward 50. Lots of fingers getting pointed. Wilson's off the ground now, so there was definitely an extra on the ground. I'm not sure what that means.
Good spot,
Monty. You're
it means nothing these days because it goes to what you've scored in the quarter, and I hadn't scored anything, so it wouldn't have meant nothing.
Christie, a juggling mark out of defence, takes it on centre wing. It's a Mawson's Concrete mark of the day, Big Mac.
That's a silly new rule, Mont. I'll tell you why. Because imagine if you just leave someone out in the ground for 5 minutes so they can't score, and then say, oh, yeah, no score counts, so it doesn't really matter. Good
What do you
kick
reckon, -6 or something?
Yeah, that's right. It could be, I don't know. Tanati gets it. He's been okay off half-back too. Good kick, low to the ground. Big Smithy, he says, stuff it, I'll paddle it. Kick off the ground was clever by Harrington. Easter's lurking. Oh, great tackle. Jackson East. Just might cause a turnover yet. Handball good from Murray. Now Wilson comes onto the ground. That kick came from Philo. Wilson now drives it inside forward 50. Big chance here. Gutsy work from Pefferbridge. Put his head over the ball for the 2nd time. They'll knock it out the back here. Hourigan did well. He's a genius if he finds the boundary. He is the big fella. And they'll get away with it. Ball up. Boundary throw in 70 metres around from the Rovers goal.
43 plays 11. So a minor score to the Myrtleford Alpine Saints.
Did you see anyone come off?
No, that it was fixed up at half time.
Right. Thank you.
By the umpires.
Monty, what did you say, Robert? Did you see what?
Dylan Wilson went back
He came on for Justin Lewis, so just got that rotation right. Catapan swung around at a tackle.
He's paid a high.
And a high by the non-officiating umpire. And Craig Miller certainly not happy in the box next to us. You may have picked that up.
It was a bit high, Funky. It's all right.
Affects he's to the right of us, Monty. So a free kick here to Sam Catapan. He'll kick this from outside 50. How many for Sam, Monty?
This is a number 15 coming up.
Gives it to Brody Philo, who dummies around 1. He's going to kick it long. Don't tell me.
No.
Do not tell me. He doesn't have the legs. It looked very good off the ground. McCartney tried to soccer it through in the end. Sharp rushes it over the boundary line for a minor score. And the Rovers move to 1-6-12 to the Saints, 6-7-43. It's a 31-point margin. We've played 2.5 for Maccas as the Saints bring it out quick.
The Paddy Rose flank, that one, Panda. Gee, that's a great kick. Did not have to break stride. Was Maracca. Drives it into half forward. Well left there. Now, here's a chance. Munro is going to offer a run here for Sharp. Sharp gave the handball back to Maracca. Maracca goes short. Was it 15? I don't think so. And quite rightly, it's been called by, I think it might be umpire Mason Ring there, said just play on and it'll be a boundary throw in. So, an enterprising start to the 3rd term, but still no score. We've gone 3 minutes. So Myrtleford maintain a 31-point advantage. Spins back into play. Harrington's there. So's Jackson East. Calagero as well. A lot of players over the ball. Rifling out now. Dylan Stone did well. Got shoveled a handball out. Coming through, tackle out the ball was O'Brien. Play on was a call. Now comes the midfield for Myrtleford. Get the turnover. Pefferbridge kicks a good one and finds Capillari.
He does in the long sleeve. Good kick down the height a little. Finds Caligiero, his brother in the long sleeve as well today. 2 kicks from home for the Saints. He surveys inside forward 50. Likes an option into the pocket. Thompson, in fact, it was Smith, puts himself in the hole, punches it as far as East, who snaps to a vacant goal square just to the left for a minor score. And the Saints move to 6-8-44 to the Rovers 1-6-12. You can't leave East alone inside 50, Monty.
Does anyone man him up? I just feel like every time he gets the footy, he's got 5 metres of pace. I don't know if he just works harder than everyone or whether he just loses people or people just don't pay him respect because of his size.
I think the latter. But surely the guy's played 20 games in the Ovens of Murray now, averaging 30 disposals from those 20 games and does what he likes.
Yep, he is a gun.
Here he is again. East and Murray. Kick off the ground by East. Give him one that for Monty. It went about 15 metres. And he's back at the footy now, along with Sharp. Tenardi. Onto Maraca. He's in trouble, Maraca. He somehow got a boot on it. Oh, he was held without it, maybe Tenardi. Kick off the ground by Maraca. Back to Tenardi. Here's East. Over the footy. Got a high up and under at the goal square. Punch through. And it skids through the water for a minor score. So Myrtleford score again. 6-9-45. Lead Wangaratta 1-6-12. This quarter's for Albury at MG. And that is on the Peter Bowen Homes scoreboard.
You know what Jackson East is, Monty? He's cleaner than everybody else in these conditions.
Yeah, and he works as hard as anyone else in the competition, I reckon.
Allison, dainty little kick. Tried to kick to the advantage of Parnell, but Capillari read it beautifully and won it back. Inside 50 with a beautiful entry. Finds Matty Munro in a pocket of space, and he will line up 30 metres out, 45-degree angle. How's the win back from Capillari and the kick?
Yeah, just a little bit too strong for Parnell in that contest, which you don't say too often. But that kick back inside 50, we've said it. He only had the 4 touches to half-time. Capillari had the 2 already and been effective to start this third quarter.
Not sure he had the strength. What he did was just read the ball better from the kick. So here's Munro to make it a 39-point advantage. It's across the face. Oh, almost marking that one was Schulte, was it, on the goal line? In fact, it was Sam Murray who was caught between marking it and allowing it to go through for behind. Neither happened, and it's now out of bounds next to the point post.
Why was marking Munro down for a point? It stayed in. Spins back into play. Smith taps it to a lot of players. Is probably the best way to describe that. Murray got a handball from Thompson. Murray got a handball to Philo. Back to O'Brien. O'Brien kicks it to between half forward and centre wing. Well done, Del Bosco. Ends up with Pefferbridge. He's normally good off the left foot. This kicks to the advantage. Oh, good grab. Running in. Oh,
it's got to be a grab.
Gonna say, Eddie Damon, you'd be stiff as Panda at Lake Buffalo if you weren't awarded the prize there. But sometimes you come home disappointed, Panda. And Dylan Stone, who got a bit feisty before half-time. He looks like he's settled nicely. He's like a colt in a set of stalls, Panda.
Kicks to the half forward. McCarthy and Del Bosco were in a tussle. No one wins out. Pethbridge slid in.
Got a nice knee in the head.
Yep,
there.
he caught one on the noggin.
Yeah.
Yep, Del Zotto is a little bit ginger.
Yeah.
That's got to be Myrtleford's kick, I would have thought.
For a high, but he's also slid in.
No, he's paid out of bounds on the full.
Oh, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, he's paid out of bounds on the full. I'm not talking about Pethbridge in a bit of trouble here, boys.
Yeah, I worry about him.
So it's a free kick here to Catapan. Pethbridge looks to be in a little bit of hurt.
Stop the game, I think.
Yeah, he looks like he needs to come off the ground, Zach Pethbridge. Catapan runs around on the arc, kicks to the top of the goal square. Juggling attempt from Simon Curtis. Falls the way of Lewis. Tried to get a kick away. In fact, it was Thompson. Too much mud around the ball for me. O'Brien falls out the back here to Del Zotto. Picked up by Thompson. Snap towards goal. It's tumbling. It's allowed to go through for a minor score as Monty.
Yeah, Pethbridge is just coming off now, boys. And I reckon, we might not see him again.
He looked a little bit ginger from a head perspective. We don't like to speculate.
Charlie Thompson's very gingered out there too, boys. I reckon he might stay forward for most of the rest of this game.
45-13. Myrtleford lead. Peter Bowen home scoreboard.
Great kick by Curtis. Guess who? Jackson East. 2 of the classiest operators you'd want to see. They'll go forward again now. Frumiotto into half forward. Ball jarred free. This might open. No, it's going to be a free kick. He was held.
Yeah.
You agree with that one, Mon?
Yeah, that one was there. Just grabbed on, didn't have the footy, so good decision.
The ball to Warrior was right onto that. Jace McQuaid won the free kick, and he kicks it beautifully out there to half forward. Looks like Brody Philo. A low penetrating kick, Panda. Didn't quite find the target, but it might end up okay with O'Brien.
who kicks it along the ground, just bypasses Curtis, who stays with the footy. Has 2 Rovers to beat. Catapan shovels it back straight to big Toby Cossa. He goes down the line by hand to Tenardi. Hugs the boundary line. Turner comes up and takes a wonderful Mawson's concrete marker that on his chest. Has the ball on true centre wing. Still a 32-point lead at the 8th minute mark for Maccas. To the way of the Saints for Peter Bowen Holmes. So Turner keeps it along the paint. Both players wrestling. Cooper and also Riley Sharp. The umpire said, I'm just going to let it go.
That's a good decision. They both had arms around. I don't mind that being called play on.
Yep.
Just quietly, boys, quickly on the 40-wing stats. Brody Fowler up to 5 for the quarter and Jackson East 4.
Now, I want you for Evolution Roofing. Just go around the grounds at the next possible opportunity, please.
No worries.
Here's Myrtleford, thank you. East, we ducked into it, and now he just got a little half kick on it. I don't know if you're going to give that a stat or not, Mon. It was about 5 metres went over the boundary line. What do you do there? Do you call
I give that one a stat. If it's smothered, I don't give it. But that one was a clear possession that got him.
You're the number one stats man, mate.
I probably am, you know.
Now, hang in there. I'll get that score shortly. I'm just a bit edgy when the ball's inside 50 here, Mont. Now we've got another stoppage. Now you can have your time for Evolution Roofing.
Yeah, just having a look at the scores. Kalen Brakey's kicked 5 for Cora, so he's absolutely flying. Yeah, you just continue on as it's going inside 50, Robbie, and I'll get back to you.
East grabbed a high by Jez Rigoni and Jackson East. I tell you what, he's having that sort of day. He could almost kick it from here. He's at the junction of the 50 and the boundary line. Another one around the grounds, Monty?
Yep, so it's a 12-point lead for Wodonga against the Tigers.
As East fires it back in, runs around on an arc, hugs the boundary line, top of the goal square. Good luck marking that. Slips out the back here towards Capillari. Hand passes it to big Riley Sharp. Likewise to Maracca. Good pressure here by the Rovers. They're forcing fumbles here from the Saints. Smith takes the tackle from Horrigan and will have a ball up inside 50 for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints.
So that game at John Ford Oval, 5-4-34 for the Corowa, all 5 to Kalen Brakey, 7-6-48 the Hoppers, so 14-point lead, 8-point lead to Lavington over Yarra. And a nice lead, 50-odd points by Wangaratta over the Raiders.
That one for Evolution Roofing as the Rovers have it in defence. Kicked out, boundary throw in, still 4 to centre for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints.
Hoppers supporters would be a little bit uncomfortable still.
No, that score's wrong. It's actually 54 to 34. It's a 20-point lead.
20-point. What did I say?
14 points.
You were stitched up by the delay on the app.
Updated, yeah, sorry.
Better theatre with Monso.
It is.
Yeah. A quick goal to North Aubrey's.
20 points.
So at the Lavington Yarra game, just watch that, 39 to 31, Big Mac.
8-point lead to Lavington. The Rooster had 3 goals to half-time, we believe, in that one. And Tommy Hargraves in game 200 had left the ground about halfway through the second quarter. Not sure what the injury was. Sound
Zach
absolutely
Peffrybridge
riveted with that information.
Yeah, that was great. But Zach Peffrybridge back out on the ground, boys, so he must have been all right and cleared to go again.
Old Captain Panda just give a bit of a nod of the head.
I'm just sitting back here at the back of the box.
Smug. Well, it's on camera now, mate, so you got caught out.
Have a look at him,
Been a smug prick, mate. That's what you were. Here's East. He's tackled by... He might have dropped it. Play on's a call. Good decision in front of the home crowd. Look at Curtis go at the footy. He should be able to gather it all. In the end, he just decided to paddle it over the boundary line. And that's okay. We don't mind that.
He knows what he's doing, Simon.
It's not up to us to question him, Panda.
Nope. Buys a bit of time. That's what he does.
Well, you give us a bit of your time now and give us a bit here. Come on.
I will try my hardest. 32-point lead. No goal in this third quarter. Favouring the Saints still as they edge it inside attacking 50. Munro's there. Under pressure, here's Parnell. Was able to get boot the ball at the last minute. Torpedoes a nice spiral out towards Shane Gaston, the runner, who probably could have picked that up and got a 40 winks if he wanted. In the end, Dylan Stone runs it over the line. We'll have it thrown back in right in front of our commentary position.
Move that's been made by half-time by Sam Murray. Cooper's gone back to play on the resting ruckman, which at the moment is Riley Smith.
There you go. So the team of the year full-back in the VFL playing in full-back. Cossa, give that one to him. McCarroll of the Harry variety. Over the footy, we'll have a ball up.
It is back 50. 14 points, 2 down to John Ford Oval. Cora picked another one. So 54 to 14. 40.
Take it away, Big Mac, for the Norvo Hotel at the 13th minute mark for Macca's third term.
Put a watch on that game, I reckon.
It's back to 20.
Something about it.
North just kicked another one.
North just got one, a quick one back. Here we go. Oh, trouble here, Charlie Thompson. Play on to call. They're really letting it go, I noticed, in this quarter. And I don't mind that as long as they're consistent. The punters are piling in a bit, but just back it off. Back it off a little bit.
That's free.
Kalen Bradkey has kicked all 6 goals for Corolla.
Extraordinary. As Munro got a little grubber kick, Philo shoveled it, kick off the ground. Might have been Thompson in the end, and that one will go out over the boundary line. Goes inside forward 50, Mont, if you want to put that on your 40 wing stats or put it wherever you like, mate. I don't really care.
Thompson's had 6 this quarter, takes him to 21 for the game.
32-point lead still to Myrtleford. No goals and an ugly game here at the McNamara, to describe it lightly. Thrown back in. Cossa. Miotto, who's got a new jumper because it was ripped off in the second quarter in a big fight. Brody Paul dropped a mark in the middle of the ground. Fumble at ground level. Spills out here to Schulte. Over the football. Ripped off it. Saints want holding the ball. Umpire Mason says no. In fact, it's Richard Bolt. I'll have a ball up in the middle of the ground. Lots of players around the pill, as it has been all day. Wet, muddy conditions here at the McNamara Reserve. Some parts of the ground okay, others pretty ordinary. Spills out towards McCarroll. His kick was smothered. In fact, it was Harrington. Parnell's kick also smothered. Good desperation here by both sides. Lewis at half forward, tackled by Del Bosco. Lewis wanted a free for holding the ball. Umpire calling this to play on. Catapan with a really clever hand pass to the running man, Charlie Thompson, who flies on goal. Coming across here was Cooper. Not able to mark. Saints defence holding up brilliantly. It spills out here towards Riccardi, who happily rushes it over the boundary line for a minor score. And the Rovers go to 1-8-14 to the Saints 6-9-45 on the Peterborough home scoreboard. 1 goal the Rovers have kicked to the 14th minute mark of the third term.
Is Lockie McCartney still out on the ground?
He was not that long ago. I did see him.
Okay, mate.
So.
Yeah, it just hasn't really impacted the game today, has he? Here's a chance for Myrt. Bit of clearance off half back here. The next kick's going to be the challenge. Riley Smith's making ground. Out of bounds would be a good result here. And that's exactly what the big fella's been able to extract out of the situation. It was a 3-on-2 contest. And it's going to be boundary thrown in where there's a lot of cars on that other side of the ground. If you haven't listened, give the old lights a flash. Here we go. Yeah, look at that.
There's
bang, bang.
Oh,
hey, turn them off, big fella.
There's actually a few.
They're a bit extraordinary. So anyway,
that gives you a bit of confidence, does it, Big Mac?
Yeah, glad one bloke out there
listening to us talk crap.
Take it away, Peter, speaking of crap.
Oh, thanks, Big Mac. For the Nor, though. Here's Munro. Over the footy. Rovers defence holding up Steely here. Allison and Munro. Here's Murray. Dainty kick out wide to Philo. Kicks off a step. It's an ordinary one. Towards Lockie O'Brien. Boundary throw in far side.
I'd hope you're one of those deers in the forest here if that bloke flashing the lights at you.
Absolutely.
Oh,
nice venison schnitzels coming your way, Big
lit
Mac.
Up like a Christmas tree, big fella. In the big four-wheel drive there.
How many for Philo in this third quarter, please?
He's up to 7, 20 for the game.
All righty. So, Saints holding on here. Harrington grubbers it down towards the town end of the ground. And another stoppage here. Another boundary throw in. They'll earn their paycheck today, Big Mac, the boundary umpires.
I already said they're holding on. They're actually dictating terms, mate.
They are.
They've got it where they want them, haven't they, Mont?
Absolutely. They'll be able to play another quarter in 10 minutes exactly like this. Just down the line, kick it, and away they go.
You were pretty happy with their score at half-time, Mont, weren't you?
I was. I think it's a match-winning lead.
Decky Bren, handball, Calogero. Here's East again. Oh, he's clever, this boy. Kicks it. They make a bit of ground. It's 30 out from goal here. They're under pressure here. Good tackle. Now Parnell. He'll get it. He'll take on his opponent. He's going to have a bounce. How about that for a little bit of cheek? Have another one. No, he says, not in the mud. Kick's not bad. Oh, it spills out of the back. Lewis couldn't control it. Kick off the ground by Sharp. Intercepted by Lewis. Did well. Back to Damon. On now to Parnell. Inside forward 50. Del Bosco did well. They've got numbers at the footy. Sharp was excellent. Rovers might be a chance if they can shovel it out. They can't get it out. Hurried kick. Pefferbridge is there. Told to kick it off the right boot. Falls nicely to East, and East marks midfield. Myrtleford lead 45-14.
That's a
17 and a half minutes gone third term. Here's Riccardi.
Riccardi on the wing, plays on straight away. Good looking kick to half forward. Here's the Bren gun. Robbie's man. Over the head, hand pass towards Ned Turner, who can stroll inside forward 50. Decides to be unselfish. Top of the goal square. Saints have the numbers. East is down there. Miotto's down there, who's thrown off the ball like John Cena.
That's a sling, yeah. Good.
Yeah,
Mason's coming. That is a sling if I've ever seen one. He actually picked him up and threw him. You're not allowed to do that, Nathan.
Was it Cooper?
Yeah, Cooper. Just a bigger man on a smaller man, but bad luck. You're not allowed to do that anymore. He actually picked him up off the ground and threw him. So, I'm glad that was paid then.
It was literally like a pay-per-view WrestleMania sort of style, which is not what we like to see And Miotto will line up here directly in front pretty much.
I haven't seen a lot of Lockie Miotto have a shot, but I wouldn't have minded Matty Munro running around and snapping that one because I reckon that might have been a good option too. He's a classy finisher, Matty, but hopefully Lockie can go back and put this one through for his first one for today.
So Lockie Miotto to extend the margin to 37 points at the 18th minute mark for Maccas. Directly in front, comes in and shanks it.
Matty Munro.
Minor score, and the Saints extend the lead to 32 points for Peter Bowen Holmes.
It could have really been a
for
down the
Maccas.
field free kick too, because it was quite late after he kicked it.
Because the ball was still in play, wasn't it?
It was. So
Yeah.
Matty Munro took the mark next to the point post.
Nice spot up there, Mont. Allison, good kick. Brings it in, and it's Del Zotto. Marks off half-back, kicks the centre wing. They've got numbers here, Myrtleford, and gutsy mark taken by Brodie Riccardi. Bit late on the whistle there, the bald-headed Warrior. Nonetheless, he got there. Goes short. That's called play on two, is it? Ooh, that's a wet weather measurement. I don't mind that. Capillari. Back to Riccardi. Sounds like we're calling an AC Milan game at times here, doesn't it?
It does.
You get that when you're playing in the
Soccer
hills.
conditions, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, Big Mac, for the Northo Hotel. A check on around the grounds. The margin's still at 20 points between Corowa and North, going goal for goal. Bradkey's kicked all 7 for Corowa.
Stop it, Peter.
Here's a chance for Jake Sharp. Grubbers it forward. Wonderful pick up by Riley. On to turn. It's hit the post. It was harder to miss than kick it from Ned.
No. From 11 metres.
And he's hit the point post. That would have put the game beyond doubt. I think it already is anyway. Margin at 33 points. He missed from the top of the goal square from Ned. Jason Dunstall at your heart out with the dribble kick.
Yep. Anyway, free kick to Myrtleford. They're going to go inside forward 50 again.
This game's had a little bit of everything.
He's got a bit of time. They're going to take a bit of time off the clock here. 20 minutes have ticked over
Because every player is in front of him nearly, Robbie.
And he'll just pump a tumbler here, Mont. He does. He goes for the pocket, the netball pocket. Sharp's there. He couldn't mark Big Brady. High snap. Was that East?
East again.
East again. Top of the goal square. Riccardi. Crumbing. Free kick. Held.
Against Riccardi.
Rovers. So
Jackson East, that was his ninth touch for the quarter, up to 27 for the game, boys.
End of goal. Here's Murray, deep in defence, who's going to kick a tumbling old spiral. Only as far as Maraka, who's played really well today. He's used the ball well. He's made good decisions. He's putting together a good year, averaging 18 touches. Shallow kick to the top of the goal square. On hands and knees was Catapan. Hand pass it only as far as Declan Bren. Caligero's snap went about 2 metres as the Rovers exit defence. It cannons into the shins of Simon Curtis, who goes off the ground like Lionel Messi. Parnell out of defence, kicks it long towards centre wing, our broadcast side. Saints with the numbers, one of whom is McKerrell. He goes backwards a long way to Riley Calvine. Saints 47, Rovers 14. It'll take a miracle, I think, here, Robbie, for the Rovers.
Yeah, it will, mate. Of biblical proportions, Panda. To pull this one off. Here's your man, Maraka again. Clever tackle there. Fed out. It'll go out the back now to Caligero. Oh, he's got a nice little left foot on him. It's going to go to East. East can't quite hold it. Might have been interfered with Paul. East bounced back beautifully. Got it to Tonati. Tonati to the gold square. The Brent gun's there. So's Riccardi. Here comes Riccardi. Get a kick off the ground if he can. Brent Gunn is swooping, hovering. So's the umpire, and he's going to ball up. That's a really good result. They have got it locked down deep in their forward line. Myrtleford, they lead 47-14, Mont.
13 inside 50s to 5 for the quarter, boys.
Yep.
Monty for Corowa Tiles and Corowa Better Electrical. Get in there and get a King's Birthday long weekend if you can. Buy yourself a heater because it's freezing. Damon down to the ground, and we have a ball up. Still about 15 around.
Tommy Hargrave's back on at the Yarrawonga-Lavey game. Good news.
Yeah, Lavey extending the lead there as well over at the JC Low Oval. Murray left the football behind, and we have a boundary throw in still deep in the pocket, favouring the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, who lead by 33 points, Monty. Around the grounds for Evolution Roofing.
Yeah, just again, a really close one, Wodonga and Albury. It's only 6 points there, so really, really tight. 20 points, North Albury Corowa, as we've touched on.
So Wodonga leading Albury by 6 points at the sports ground. Thompson gets a kick away, only as far as Jackson East, riding down for another. Del Bosco off a step, left foot snap, punched over the boundary line by Jason McQuaid, and will be tossed back in.
Other scores, Lavey by 19 there, 7-8 to 4-7, and a 69-point lead, Wangaratta over the Raiders.
Nice work, Monty. Of course, that was for Evolution Roofing. Don't think the boys will be on too many roofs over the next few days with this weather. good time to get a price and a quote in from them, Panda, because they are the best in the business.
Absolutely.
Value for money, my friend. So, last stage is the third quarter here. Is it just the one goal for the quarter, boys, we're talking about, or none?
None.
So it's a 0-all quarter. There's been a few soccer references here today, and there's another one.
4 behinds to 2 behinds, I think I've got.
Yep.
Yeah, nice work. That's for 40 winks. That's a stat from Scotty Montgomery. Bren Gunn, did he have the footy? Play on. No, he may not have. He's been held without it. Mason was sweating on him. And Declan Bren is going to go back and have a shot to put this game to bed, boys.
Yeah, this will go back for his second shot on goal. Hopefully he can put this one through, and the game's over, I feel, if he kicks this one. It's a match-winning lead right on three-quarter time. And Declan Bren, we know, is normally a really, really nice finisher.
He's a busy little operator. He's like a fox around a chicken coop, isn't he? Just waiting for something to come out, and you go, bang! And he'll snap on him, the old Bren gun. Declan Bren, he'll kick from 30 metres, slight angle, comes on the way. Watch his celebration. Yeah, he loves it. That is a big goal from Declan Bren. The flash of the lights from old mate at the netball courts. And the Saints are just about home. Panda's told me to do something. Well, that's Bren's second goal. Second goal of the afternoon. It's a good return for a good operator. And Monty, that has extended the lead out now to 39 points. Myrtleford lead 53-14. 25 minutes gone third quarter for Albury-Wodonga MG.
25 minutes to kick the first goal of the quarter. I tell you what, the siren's going to go very, very soon. Not what the Rovers wanted there. If there were any chance, they couldn't afford to let a late one in, and they have. And it was a sloppy free kick again. We're seeing a bit of that today from the Rovers. Their discipline hasn't been great, and they're giving away a lot of free kicks in titchy-touchy sort of decisions. So just need to be a little bit better to finish this game.
What a statement this has been from the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. Poor last week, and they have responded beautifully on their home ground today. Curtis flicks it up to Calveen. Exiting kick out of defence, looking for Harrington. Parnell closed on him. O'Brien retreats to Dylan Stone. Hand passes to Parnell, who was fumbly. Gave it back to Stone. Edges it inside 50. Wonderful mark by Tenardi.
Panda, did you say Myrtleford got North Albury next week?
Yep. At Button Park.
Wow.
Big game. Tenardi on half back in front of the scoreboard, which reads 53-14. Very happy if you're a Myrtleford Alpine Saints fan. Munro swings around on the left, dribbles it and gains valuable yardage down the line for the Saints, who are happy to see it over. For a throw-in on the far side in front of those row of cars that are all parked in right up against the fence with the heater on, Robbie.
Yeah,
listening to us on Edge FM.
Flashing lights, look at them go.
About 2.
The trouble is that we can't lie either because the camera's right on them. Give it a flash if you haven't yet, for God's sake. There we go. Got one loyal supporter.
There's another one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
there's a
another.
few.
Oh, look at that. Oh, hello.
Deer hunters are
Here
back.
they
The
come.
deer hunters are back.
There they come. Come on, that's all in a crescendo. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. Yay!
The players are probably
What is happening?
What is happening out there?
We've got to keep ourselves
Panda, can
entertained.
you call the footy?
I'll try my hardest.
That's what I love about our loyal punters out there.
Damon copped a falcon. Parnell just kicked it as long as he can. Through the mitts of Calveen. Sharp, left foot high up and under down the wing. Ugly sort of stuff here today. Stone happily sees it over the boundary line, and it will be thrown back. You got any more around the grounds, Monty, or I've just thrown you right under the bus?
Just give me a second,
And
will
if
ya?
you've got a flat battery after today, just get in touch with Andrew Harrison at Ace Radio, and he'll talk to you about
fix it
some
up.
sort of compensation. All right, Bell comes back in right in the depths of this third quarter action here. Myrtleford lead it by 53-14. Another free kick, whistle. It's going to go the way of the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. And it was going to go. Will Jackson East have a shot here, Mike?
No.
He says stuff it.
He's good, but he's not that good.
He's not that good. 7-11-53 Myrtleford lead. Wangaratta Rovers 1-8-14. That's the free quarter time score, Panda. And that was brought to us by Albury-Wodonga MG.
I'd like to know the last time the Rovers only kicked 1 goal to 3 quarters of football. I reckon you have to go back to the dark days, I reckon. Yeah. Alrighty, 3-quarter time. It's a 39-point lead to the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. Stay with us on O&M Live. And on O&M Live, you will not miss a thing.
Clear.
Thanks, Elliot.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Shawty get inspired. How about that? How about that? This time.
Welcome to Sundancer Homes. We make building your dream home exciting and stress-free. Backed by over 30 years of experience, one of many reasons why we provide a lifetime structural guarantee. Visit our information centre at Dean Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Drive 3.5. Embrace the mid.
My family is my first priority. We go on adventures. We treat each other well. We look after one another. And Tobin Brothers Funerals will treat you like family too. They take pride in creative funeral solutions and will fulfill you and your family's wishes, so if it's legal, it's possible. Tobin Brothers Funerals, family owned since 1934. And now, caring for your family here in Wodonga and Corowa. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
There's a home, there's
With Optus Home Internet, you get more yes. Whoa. Which means less family screen time and more harmony with powerful Wi-Fi. Woo. Get the Ultra Wi-Fi modem at no extra cost.
Welcome back to a money-wet McNamara Reserve, where the Saints hold a 39-point deficit over the Wangaratta Rovers, who have been poor today. It's fair to say, fourth quarter about to get underway for Tyre Power. Great to have Harris and the crew from Tyre Power on board. Monty, who are our quarters best in that third quarter for Albury Vital Air?
Well, I can't go past my man Jackson East. He had 11 touches in that quarter, took him to 29. Well, I thought Sam Canapan's quarter was really good for the Wangaratta Rovers. Had the 8 touches, and Brody Fowler also had the 8 touches. Going through the other stack getters, Matty Munro's up to 13 for the game. Bowen Colangero's up to 15. Simon Curtis, 15. Jackson East has touched on 29. And Tommy Capillari up to 9. While for the Rovers, Philo with 21. Sam Murray with 27. Charlie Thompson with 23. Kieran Parnell, 14. And Catapan with 22.
Alrighty. So it would take some sort of miracle for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints to give this one up here, and the Rovers to come back. They've only kicked 1 goal till three-quarter time. Have the reigning premiers and the ladder leaders. And the fourth quarter's underway here for A1 Tyre Power. Get your tyres checked, especially if you're heading up to the snow this weekend. Your chains and all that sorted. Here's Parnell. In fact, it's O'Brien off the square. Kicks it into the pocket. Sharp got two hands to it as the spare man in defence. Murray looks like he's gone to full forward. Hand pass. Here's Wilson, who's going to have a flying shot tied up against the boundary. Just scrapes through for a minor score. So they move to 1 goal, 9-15 to the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, 7-11, 53 margin at 38. We've played just under 30 seconds in the fourth term.
Thanks, Panda. And that's Panda's doing all his good work today for the Norvo. We're going to congregate on the way home and have a couple of quiet ones. Might have a countery there tonight, Panda.
Watch who's playing tonight? JBS and Port.
Couldn't give us stuff, Panda.
Neither can I.
Sharp, gathers, off half-back, tumbles it. That was Jake. Here comes East. Kicks it off the ground, almost to himself. Munro does likewise. He's feeling a little bit tired. Good tackle, though. Ledger slipped a handball to Parnell. Parnell handball over now there to Rigoni. Rigoni spots something he likes. It's the big fella, Christie, but he's going to run over the top of it. Kicks it off the ground, and the end of the statement it was, sorry. But Calvin was good for Myrtleford, and he finds the boundary over on the far side of the ground there. It'll be a boundary throw, and we've gone just over a minute in the final term. Myrtleford lead 53-15. That's over the Wangaratta Rovers. It'll be the Rovers only their first defeat since the round one clash against Wangaratta. Panda.
Absolutely. They've had it pretty much all their own way since that season opening game. Been very impressive, but clearly beaten today by a better and more hungry side. Allison, torpedo punts it inside forward 50. Horrigan clears defence with a big torpedo punt. Riley Smith just got rid of Jace McQuaid with pure strength. I reckon we need the lights on here. The McNamara reserve. Smith, good kick to half forward. Finds Decky Bren. He's got Munro forward of him. Ignores that. Kicks it into the pocket. Big Riley Sharp caught out the back. Spills the way of Munro. Hand pass it to Calagero. In fact, it was Riccardi who hand passed it to Calagero, who bananaed it through for a steer line goal today. Wonderful link-up play by the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. They're running away with it now. 44-point the lead.
How good a team play was that? Munro really clean with the front and centre. Got it on to Riccardi, who quick hands, really sharp hands to Calagero, who's just worked his bum off, I reckon, in the midfield. I reckon early in the year they were playing him off half-back and the wings a bit more, but he's gone in that inside mid position now, and he's been absolutely sensational since he's gone in there.
Well, that's certainly put it beyond doubt, lads. 8-11-59, 1-9-15 on the border switchboard scoreboard. Gee, they've played a good brand of wet weather football. I've enjoyed their brand. They played. You can't expect too much in these sort of conditions, but geez, this is as good as you're going to see in these types, what they've done. Philo was clever, won the clearance, kicked it inside forward 50. Curtis came out, met the ball, paddled it to his teammate Calvin. Calvin might have been tackled without it. Umpire Ring was there, lurking and watching and officiating in a good manner. And he says to his boundary umpire, throw it back in.
Camped inside the forward 50 for the Rovers. We've had their fair share of entries, just haven't been able to convert in any way, shape or form. 1 goal, 9-15. Scrappy play. Haven't really done much with the conditions today. O'Brien wrapped around, slung to the ground. Yep, beautiful tackle by Brady Sharp. And wins a free kick for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints in defence. Hasn't missed a beat since about round 3 or 4. Since he made his way back into the senior lineup after a year off. Sharp down the line. Christie got two hands to it, wasn't able to bring in a mark, and tackles Riley Sharp. Will have a ball up on centre wing.
Yeah, it's just trying to get territory now, isn't it, for the Myrtleford? Just try and get through the next 25 minutes, no injuries, and get the win, get it done.
High, that tackle, Lisa, just slid up the shoulders of the big fella, Will Christie, and it was a bit high. The man there, that's our man, Richard Bull. He didn't miss that one. So Big Will, he really hasn't got a lot of options on here, so he'll just pump it down the line. Up she goes. Sits about 40 out from goal. From behind, Curtis, big fist. Philo, like a jack in the box. Spring heel Jack. Got a handball to Thompson, and Thompson, he didn't have a lot of room to work with, and he's got that over the boundary line. So he'll be thrown in again, Panda. They've just gone inside forward 50. Myrtleford lead 59-15. Almost 5 minutes gone here in the last quarter. And we're doing it for tyre power. That's powerful stuff.
We are. Robbie,
free kick
for the Norther Hotel. Free kick for a push. going to go the way of the Saints.
Is that the right ad? Tyre Power, yeah, it's powerful stuff.
I've got no idea.
I think it is.
I just know the jingle.
Yeah, that's it.
What's the jingle? Sing it.
Tyre Power. That's powerful stuff.
Yeah, the power. Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're right. You're right, big mate.
Thank you very much.
Cossa.
God.
It's been good today in the ruck, the big boy. He's going to hug the boundary line.
Yeah.
Oh, McQuaid got really high just to fist it. We got excited. That probably goes to show you what sort of game we're working with here today. Miyotto pushed off the footy, grubbers it down the line. Rovers win it back and then gives it back to Miyotto, who snaps it over his head, Nate Caddy style. Turner got one high. Gets it back here, Turner. Went by hand smartly to Maraka. Little check kick back in board to McCarroll. In fact, it's Harrington who got in the way of the umpire as the Saints stream forward. Robbie?
Yep, indeed. Harrington pumps it long. Munro's got to beat 3. That's not going to happen. McQuaid read it well. Kicked a high up and under. Damon from behind decides to stay down. Ledger was working hard. Here's Catapan. McCarthy. Haven't seen a lot of him today. The ball works back there via Delzotto. They kick it down to the centre wing here. East couldn't control the footy. Went hard at the ball, though. The Sharp boys are working hard in there. Bumping around there was Capillari. He's been tackled by 2-3 players. And, Pan, I'm just going to take you to task for a bit. What we're working with, bit this one of the game. I reckon, in these conditions, watching what Myrtleford done, they've played almost the perfect wet weather conditions. And I just think you've just not given them enough credit there, young man.
And where do you get that from?
well, they have played well in these conditions, mate.
But when did I say they did?
Well, just for this game we're working with here, you know, I just sort of suggest, I just think give a few more flowers, mate.
I'm just trying to work out what I've alluded to.
Just be better, please, Blake.
Yeah,
come on, Blake. Yeah.
All right. I'm just trying to work that one out. As Allison runs towards attacking 50 for the Rovers. Murray caught with Pethbridge, who tackles him, doesn't give him an inch.
Caught his knee up there, I reckon, Sammy. He's sore getting up.
Yeah, just a little bit limpy is Sam Murray. Pethbridge was wearing him like a glove.
And what Pethbridge said, well, he grabbed him and let him go straight away. He didn't prolong the tackle. Smart operator.
Yeah, I reckon the guys in the cars here are trying to turn the lights on themselves because it is quite dark.
Yeah, or annoying us.
Pretty sure Easter weekend they put them on, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, mate.
They did. Yep. East tumbles it towards the boundary line. Out of play. On the broadcast side, we have played 7 minutes for Maccas. Only one goal in this quarter to the way of Bowen Calogero, and the margin sits at 44 points, 59-15 in favour of the Saints. Fourth quarter for A1 Tyre Power. Robbie?
Yeah, flick those lights on if you can, lads. That'd be wonderful. If you opportunity, or just all the car lights go on one way or the other. Don't start flashing again because that flashes in our eyes up here.
We do need some light though.
They do. It wouldn't hurt.
I'm struggling. You turned 60 odd yesterday, Robbie. Your eyes are going on you,
mate. They went 10 years ago, mate. I'm just hanging in there for the good of the game. That's all I'm doing, mate.
You just giving back,
just
aren't you?
helping you out, mate. I came up last night. I was that excited, Panda. But anyway, they've done well here, Myrtleford. They have really asserted themselves on this game and put themselves in a great position. This is a real stepping ladder for them here, Monty. A big win coming up here.
Yeah, absolutely it is. We've spoken about their credentials all year and whether they're quite there with the top 3, but the performance like today against the reigning Premier and the top of the table Rovers is just, put them right in there.
Damon Delzotto, who grew into this game. Allison soccers it cleverly. Harry McCarroll burrowing over the football there. And Schulte has him, and we'll have a ball up. So this is where we start to think about our anytime fitness player of the day.
No need to think, mate. No need to think.
Just don't even start that rot.
A little bit of theatre doesn't go astray, boys. A little bit of theatre. Just watch Charlie Thompson, Monty, who's come off the ground and is running up and down trying to do some run-throughs. Looks very, very sore.
I thought you were going to say for the anytime fitness player.
No, it does look sore. Here's Bren.
He's been good.
Shovels it forward. Smith lets it go for big Riley Smith, who soccers it 30 metres forward for the Saints. It disappears into the darkness down towards the Lake Buffalo end, and the Rovers are happy to see it over the boundary line in the pocket.
Like your hopes at Lake Buffalo, they disappeared into the darkness.
They did indeed.
Yeah. Big Sharp boy. Sharp boys have been all good today, lads. Jeez,
all 3.
Done their bit. Yeah, absolutely. It's great signs from it. Hey, they got a bit of firepower to come back into this side. Tabernar,
Augusta,
Murphy Dale, Augusta. I'll tell you what, not bad, Mon.
Yep, I think they're right thereabouts. If they can get everyone on the park and get some continuity and some of those other guys, it'll be fantastic for them.
What a great comp we got looking at us now. There's teams who got chances. Anyone could win this year. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, Delzotto, he didn't have it, I don't think. Oh, he's got away with that one. Well done, young Calogero. Here's East, can't control it. And it's been stuck in that forward pocket, half-forward flank for about a minute now. Ball hasn't moved a lot. Pam, that won't worry Myrtleford one bit at all.
No, the only thing worrying me is the light facility here.
You're going to have to move on from that.
No,
Panda.
I can't. I can't see out there, Robbie.
Really?
We're going to have to get Shag and Olin to come up and call the action.
Monty, you might have to step up.
Philo
again.
Put him up.
Tries to kick it across goals.
He's done everything else today.
I think it's Capillari out there.
Don't start that rubbish.
Hang on. The Magpies are playing. Capillari on the ground. O'Brien tried to grab him. We have a ball up, 55 around from the Myrtleford Alpine Saints goal.
Well,
trying to make something of this, guys. I mean, the game's over.
Through clear space here. Monty and I got this foggy old window here.
It's only because you got that heater on 38 down there, Robbie. It's
exactly
right.
Right. My toes are warm. Play on, advantage rule. Good umpiring. Here's might be a chance for the Rovers. They've got to beat a couple of Saints here. They've teamed up. Oh, look at Curtis's body use. Just paved the way there for Sharp. Sharp's kick was a beauty. Declan Bren. I reckon you'll see him almost feature amongst the better players here, Declan Bren. Little short kick. Maraca took it on his knees. Handball over the top was smothered. Picked up by Jackson East. Cap off a big game, Jackson. He can't quite. It goes through for a minor score. I've got him down for 1 goal 3 today. 8-12-60 Myrtleford. Wangaratta 1-9-15. I'm feeling vibes of 1970 here.
Around the grounds,
Yep.
Monty Evolution Roofing.
Just trying to wait for the update at the
Just
sports
give us the
ground.
closest game.
Give
Well,
him some
7
warning.
points still at the sports ground. That's the closest. Your Mob are home, I think. Panda, they got a 19-point lead. 37-point lead to Lavington over Yarrawonga, and a massive lead for the Magpies over the Raiders, 74 points.
Who's leading at the sports ground, please, Mont? Just in case
the Dogs by 7.
Righto. Rooster has 4.
Here's O'Brien. And in
It's
case
just
you're
pushed out to
wondering,
12 points there at the sports ground, boys.
the Rooster plays for Lavington, who are beating Yarrawonga. Here's Philo, left foot kick into the pocket. Christie marks in front of Riley Calveen. Probably too far out to score, I reckon, on a day like today with a big, wet, leathery pill. He's going to have to kick this from 45 metres on a 45-degree angle.
First time the Rovers have really moved the footy with any sort of
Ascendancy.
precision.
Yep.
Yeah, and hey, Blake, look up. They're listening to us. They are listening.
Lights
the lights
are
are getting
on.
turned on.
Yep.
You've got some major pull in this area, don't you?
What's the National Lampoon quote? The Christmas lights? Show us the lights. Thank God. Christie kicks towards goal. That sort of sums up my day. Goes through for a minor score, does it?
Mate,
No.
Are you okay?
No, well, you know that scene in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation?
The one wake up last night from just has put you off today, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
it has.
Well, they're taking
That's
a while to
sleep
get
regression.
on, and I
That's
still
sleep
can't
regression.
see anything out there. Big Max,
All
so you
right.
have a go.
I'll have a go. If not, I'll make it up. Here we go. Philo, let it go. Jeez, a lot of players over the ball. Here come Mert. Maraca off half-back. He ran into Allison. Coming through was Damon. Had a swing and a miss. Damon went back for another crack. It goes long, deep to the square. He's missed it to the right-hand side as the rain starts to absolutely slash down here. Rovers kick another behind. 1-10-16. Myrtleford 8-12-60. We're doing it for tyre power, and that's on the Border Switchboard's scoreboard. And they've switched the switch on the lights, which is absolutely
look how light it is now.
Thank you, Border Switchboards.
Thank you very much. I'll send you a bill in the mail, courtesy of Andrew Harrison at Ace Radio. Pethbridge out on the far side.
He's got a few invoices to deal with, Harry,
Absolutely. Pethbridge hugs the boundary line. So the Saints, if you're just joining us, lead this comfortably by 44 points. And the Rovers have only kicked 1 goal of the 13th minute mark of the last quarter. Inside they go again. Calveen had to get rid of it quickly because Christie was going to come and crunch him. Maraca, who's used the ball beautifully today. I reckon he's been one of their better players. Into the middle of the ground. Finds Jake Sharp, who's going to kick long towards Big Toby Cossar. McQuaid did well to spoil it at the last minute. Smith arrives to lend a helping hand. In the end, we'll have a ball up inside 50 for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints.
Maraca's still all on his own, just drifting down there to forward, Mont.
Just doing his own thing, isn't
Number
he, today?
12,
He's
yeah,
been
just-
fantastic. He's really stepped up. He's one of those guys, just goes a bit unheralded, I reckon, in this midfield that runs around for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints.
He does indeed. Now, over the footy, umpire lurking, umpire Mason Ring, who's had a really good game today, I reckon.
I think they've all been pretty good considering the
They
conditions.
have. They've done a good job. Richard Bull, Brenton Swanpool, and Mason Ring.
7-point lead to the Dogs at the sports ground.
Okay, thank you, Panda. That's around the grounds for Evolution Roofing. As Tommy Capillari, who's lifted his work rate a bit in the second half, I reckon Monty takes it out over the boundary line.
Yeah, he's got 10 for the day, but the only had 4 at half time, so he's up to 6 for the half.
So not too much.
Not his
more
conditions,
change.
yeah.
No, fair enough.
As soon as you started saying that, I'm like, oh, don't ask me for his
Robbie,
stats.
just don't go down there. Get out of there. Get out. Thanks for helping me out. You let me go all the
I
way,
did.
Mon.
Absolutely, I did.
Get into it, Panda, for the Norvo.
Lights beaming down here at the McNamara. I can see out there now.
Get
Calogero on to Turner, who swings it towards the top of the goal square. McQuaid jumped 10 years early and punched it towards the boundary line. Here's the Bren gun. Left foot kick to Riccardi. Smart. He retreated 15 metres, but it's going to allow Brodie to have a shot on goal and kick his second from about 45 out on a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, I reckon distance with the heavy ball may be an issue right now. 15 minutes gone in the last quarter. Heavy legs. I reckon he'll run around and nearly kick it in line with the man on the mark, and he'll come around to our side.
Look at this, look at this, look at this.
Give it off to Lockie Horrigan.
Oh, no!
Big Max man who's going to set sail from 50. It doesn't have the distance. Big Toby Cossey got 2 mitts to it. Jackson East head over the football. Wanted a free kick for a high. Monty wanted it for his fantasy.
I did.
And we'll have the ball up 20 metres out from the Myrtleford Alpine Saints goal.
Monty. Selfish.
8-12-60 the Saints to the Rovers. 1-10.
Another goal. Andy right about now.
Jeez, I was a bit worried. Big Horrigan there. If he had to kick that one another 3, we're in strife, Panda. Half back, Parnell tumbles one over the head of Smith. Smith says, I'm going to just punt it back into half forward. Rovers have got numbers, and Brodie Paul takes a very good, Mawson's concrete mark of the day contender. Philo at half back.
Hasn't been too many marks today, has
Not
there?
a lot.
No.
He goes across to Murray. Stats for Sammy Murray, please. Scott Montgomery for 40 winks.
Quite in the second half.
Yeah, 29. So they've done a really good job. He had 20 to half time.
Paul's Ice Cream has it. He's a little bit confused. He just does an old roundabout spinner. Jakey Sharp cleverly tapped it fortuitously to Costa. Here's McCarthy. Overhead handball. Oh, that's not going to work in these conditions. And good calling. Early call. Ball it up. 55 out from Myrtleford's goal. They lead by 42 points. 17 minutes gone. Final term for Tyre Power. That's powerful stuff.
It is 17 minutes for Maccas, and that's all on the board, a switchboard scoreboard. Brendan Genvey and his Wangaratta Magpies leading comfortably over the Raiders at the Normans Oval. Calvin's got a bit of trouble. Caught holding the ball on the Rovers. Play on straight away through Allison with an advantage. O'Brien's going to kick it to an open, vacant goal square for the Rovers. Second, it bounces through. The puddle doesn't beat that one. And O'Brien finally gets something to cheer about for the Wangaratta Rovers. They go to 2 goals, 10-22 to the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. 8-12-60, 38-point leaders of the Saints.
First goal for the Rovers since the 20-minute mark of the first quarter.
Yep.
So we've gone nearly 3 full quarters without them scoring a goal. So, yeah, they desperately needed that one. And it was just, again, the time they've looked dangerous is when they've opened up the game and been able to get it long into open space, and we haven't seen it too often for them. I think Myrtleford have set up so well behind the footy, but that was good reward for effort for Lockie O'Brien. I feel has been one of the better players for the Rovers today.
So what's that, Mod? That's only 3 quarters of footy, isn't it? They haven't kicked a goal from 20-minute mark of quarter 1 to 18-minute mark of quarter 4.
Yeah, 3 quarters.
There we go. And a good finish by Lockie O'Brien there. A steel line goal of the day contender. Del Zotto under pressure, and it'll be turned over at half back. So the Saints are going to go marching in on this one. Mitch Tenardi's been told to play on. He goes wide, and he finds Calvin. Over the top here to Calogero. Inside ball, intercepted by McQuaid. High up and under. Get under that one, boys. Goes to Calvin now. Calvini out the back. Stepping around in there was Capillari. Gave the ball back to Calvin. Back towards Capillari. Boundary line lurks like a creep in the dark. And it's going to be thrown in. True centre wing, far side of the ground. The lights are on here at the McNamara Reserve, and Myrtleford lead by 38 points. And for the Norvo, here's Blake Escott.
National Lampoons will be on my TV screens tonight.
That might be the movie of the week at the
It
Norvo.
might be. It might be. Toss back in. Riley Smith as the Saints, in fact, it's the Rovers, kick it down the line. Big fist over the boundary line as the Cars just seem to vacate the McNamara Reserve. Now, Monty around the grounds for Evolution Roofing.
8 points, Wodonga lead Albury at the sports ground. 8-15 to 8-7, so literally 8 behinds in front.
There you
what
go.
about at Yarrawonga, Mont? If you get a chance?
Yeah, it's all over there. It's 24 points late in the last quarter.
All the games becoming a little bit one-sided
Nearly
now.
22 minutes gone in the last quarter.
Boundary throw in, far side. So it's really going to open things up, this win. We're going to have a lot of... 3 teams will all be on 5 wins and 2 losses. Oh, big mark. Sorry, 6 and 2 they will be. So you'll have the Rovers, the Magpies and the Hoppers all 6 and 2. And then you'll have a fair few teams 5 and 3.
Wow.
You'll have Lavey, Wodonga and Myrtleford all 5 and 3.
That's a good ladder. 1 game between the top 5.
Yep.
Yep. Nice. Nice. And a big game next week at Bunton Park. North Albury at home to the Myrtleford Alpine Saints.
Boundary throw in far side, Robbie, for the Northo. You take it away, my friend.
Righto, let's see if we can dig something up here, Panda. See if it gives the punters something to go home with. Tenardi. He's been all right today, Mont. Tenardi, I know you're not taking his stats, but have a stab. Go on. What do you reckon he's had?
20.
Yeah, good shout.
Yeah, close to 20.
Yep. Gee, their backline's been good today. Myrtleford, hasn't it? That's just
Stood
been
up.
Absolutely. Panda, you made a reference to the Rock of Gibraltar or the Wall or something earlier in the day. I wasn't listening really that well, but I reckon you're right. Whatever you said, that makes sense.
It was about Zach Pethbridge.
Sharp. It was too big, Zachy Pethbridge. Now, Sharpie kicks it inside forward 50. Cooper's got to deal with this. Munro. Cooper gets through it with Coltham at ease. Kicks it toward middle of the ground. Handball over the top. Here's a chance for Capillari. Piercing kick. Sharp marks on his chest. The big boy, he kicked 2 already today, has Riley Sharp, and he shouldn't have any issues at all kicking his 3rd.
Just Nathan Cooper's kick coming out of the defensive kick. They need to be long towards the boundary, I would have thought. Just not great turnover. Bang, come back inside 50. Sharp all by himself. Should go back and put another one through.
Yes, he's got an extended approach here, isn't it? It's almost... It's
just taking a bit of time, I reckon.
Yeah, it's his moment here. And what I like, only play on the ground for the socks up. As a big yawn from Panda Blake Escott. Come on, Sharpie. Ram it through for 3. Kick on the way. You beauty, he says. They get their 9th goal of the afternoon. 9-12-66. That's a fair effort in these conditions, Mont. We thought 8 goals might be the target at the start of the day, and Sharpie gets his 3rd. That's a good return for him. It's a good result for the Alpine Saints. 66-22. 22 minutes and 22 seconds have gone in this final quarter for Tyre Power. And that's on the Macca's time clock, all that timing.
A bit of Richie Benno about that,
was
Robbie.
a lot. He really wanted to go with it, but he pulled out, didn't he?
He did.
He pulled out.
Yeah,
you really wanted to go with it, Robbie. Come on.
Right.
Didn't want to rain on Richie's parade.
That's very much unlike you.
Hey, I had a birthday. I'm maturing. At 62, things are turning around for me in life.
That's good to hear, Robbie.
Eventually.
I don't know where I'm heading next, but if it's probably Myrtleford again, if Panda's going to do it.
Well, you're next week. I think you're doing the Sports Ground Albury Wangaratta game, Robbie, I think. You and Gus McLeod.
Am I?
Yes, from memory.
From memory.
I'll have to look at my diary.
Ball up in the middle of the ground.
You still have one of them?
I have a diary.
Yeah,
bloody oath. Yeah.
McCarthy. Hand passes it here to O'Brien, whose run and carry has been important in this last quarter. He's going to go long to the goal square again. Getting back like a nice, safe goalkeeper was Simon Curtis for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. Kicks out to the far side. And Harrington sees it over the boundary line. And will be thrown back in. So at the 24th minute mark, Myrtleford lead by 44 points. 66-22. And when I look back on this date, the 7th of June on a Saturday, 2025, I'm going to say, I spent my time at the McNamara Reserve watching the Saints demolish the Rovers in a wet weather game of footy, and Robbie, I bloody loved it.
And I'll tell you, and you've witnessed one of the best displays of wet weather football you can do. Over 4 quarters, almost perfect. Don't expect the fancy stuff, Panda. Don't expect the high marks and that. Just expect a bit of hard work for 4 quarters and get the result done.
That's what you want. That's what you come to the footy to see, don't you, Robbie?
Del Bosco, look away handball. No one was looking. That was a problem. Dylan Wilson was. Kicked it off the ground. Is that a high tackle? Is it? No, it's not. Mason said, So very late stages here of the 4th quarter. 44 points is the margin. Myrtleford lead the Wangaratta Rovers, only their 2nd defeat this year. As Panda said, that'll make it a 3-way tie on top of the ladder. Extraordinary. Philo, he'll probably do something magical here. He can't. Thompson still having a crack. High up and under. Who's underneath it? Might be Parnell, is it? I think it is.
Yep, Kieran.
Kieran.
No, it's Jez Regani.
Oh, Jez. What do you Torp, Mon?
No, he'll drop punt it, but he won't get the distance.
Not very confident?
Nah, not confident at all.
Poor Jez.
I've seen everyone else kick from 40 odds in the last quarter and a half, and
Chance
no
for
one's made the
Jez
distance.
Rigoni to stick it right up Scott Montgomery.
Look at that, nowhere near.
He doesn't.
He checks it at the last minute.
He checked it at the last minute. Unselfish play. A shimmy, a shake, a bake. Too late.
Good tackle.
Free kick. There, Panda. It was a good tackle. Guess who tackled him?
The Horrigan.
My mate Hourigan. I will have a schooner with him one
He's
day.
only 4 goals away.
Just the one, I reckon.
So he's going to kick out wide. He'd have you covered. I reckon he'd have his schooner. I reckon he'd have his schooner finished while you're still wiping the froth off around your mouth from your first mouthful.
He'd say, another one, Robbie. So, yeah, no worries, hooligan.
Here's Brody Riccardi in the back pocket.
Your shout, digger.
You're the one with all the cash, Robbie.
Put her on the card. Put it on Funky Miller's card.
Brody going to run out of defence and kick it long down the line. Smith. Here's the Bren gun.
Yeah.
Kicks down the line. Riley Sharp, almost too strong for Cooper. Sharp then applies the tackle and brings the big man to ground. Oh, here's East, who shimmies around one onto Turner, who snaps inside forward 50. It might sit here for Munro and Harrington. Munro tackled by Rigoni. Good tackle. Had to be holding the ball. He didn't dispose of it. It had to be a high free kick to the Wangaratta Rovers. And in the end, Mason says, just give it to me. I missed it all. We'll have a ball up 45 out in front of Myrtleford's goal. 66-22, the Saints lead.
Oh, I love that George Goody story you told me in the break today, Pan. That was fantastic. There we go. She's all over here at the McNamara Reserve. Myrtleford have knocked off the Rovers, the ladder leaders, 9-12-66. The Rovers 2-10-22. It's a 44-point margin, and it's a big result for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. They have got their season well and truly where they want it, Panda. They are equal on top of the ladder alongside North Albury and the Wangaratta Rovers.
No, they're equal second.
Equal second.
Yep.
There you go.
Equal second. So the Rovers lost today means that the Rovers, the Maggies and the Hoppers are all equal at 6 and 2 at the top of the ladder. And then you got the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, Lavington and the Dogs all 5 and 3.
Yeah, cool. Yep. Yeah, nice.
So
it's set up nicely.
It is. It's set up nicely. One of our other O&M Live constituents said that there was going to be breakaway this year, and it's not the case.
Not yet, no. No, I think what we see with Myrtleford, we're talking about Panda, still got a couple of good ones to come back into this side.
Yep.
As have a lot of the other times too. Tommy Boyd's got to come into this Rovers side and whatnot. But they've really putting themselves into a position now where they play this ground so well, they played the conditions so well, and happy days here for the Saints. That was just the result they needed, the response that they needed following the loss at Wodonga last week, where they were disappointed. Funky was extremely disappointed with their performance, and it's always a sign of a bit of character in the team, in the squad, if you can come back and the way they have done it today.
You can hear the squish from the boots from Scotty Montgomery, who's walking out to try and find out Anytime Fitness player of the day, which is Jackson East. And we'll try and catch up with him post-game as Monty walks towards him and says, hey, Jackson, you come here, my friend. Look at the cheers. He's getting a little bit of stick from the boys.
Yes, look at him.
There we go. He's confident. We haven't seen that before.
Confident. Don't worry, he's confident, boys. So what's the story about the boots, Jackson?
Oh, they're just new.
Just new. Got the new boots, mate. Well, mate, they.
Bright boots, and these are probably a little bit brighter than normal, so.
No, mate, really good performance today in these sort of conditions. Your team coming out and really won in the first quarter, then you're able to keep Rovers to 1 goal in 3 and a bit quarters. It's a massive effort.
Yeah, it's bloody good, especially after last week. We were pretty disappointed after last week, and we just wanted to bounce back, and it's good.
I thought you guys in the middle really went to work early and just outspread them, and were able to really get on top, and that was probably where the game was won.
Yeah, no, all the boys were good. The boys up down back, boys up forward. It was just a good team performance, really. So, no, it was good.
Nah, mate, really great performance. Go in and enjoy it. Anytime Fitness player of the day, Jackson East, boys.
Nah, cheers, mate. Cheers.
There we go.
Jackson East, who is our Anytime Fitness player of the day. Now he's getting the photo.
No, he's got to get the final straw here.
Listen to this. He's getting cheers from all the boys. This is brilliant. He was outstanding today, was Jackson East. Monty, how about that downstairs?
Yeah, very good, boys. The boys are up and about, that's for sure. And, he made sure he had the sign upside down. That's obviously the thing the boys do up here.
Upside down the sign.
I like it.
Good stuff there. But, they'll be happy. He was clearly our clear winner of the Anytime Fitness player of the day. There's no doubt about that. Simon Curtis, fantastic. All the defenders down back. But they had some of their lesser lights were really good today, like Declan Brand, Joshy Maraka and the like. They're just very solid.
36 disposals and 1 goal for Jackson East. Monty had him down 4.
1 goal 3. I had him 2,
Yep.
mate. So he was certainly got a few looks at it.
He certainly was, as the Saints get cheered into their change rooms as we speak. And we'll get the song and then we'll catch up with both coaches if we can, Funky Miller and Sam Murray. So if you're just jumping in your car, Saints with a 44-point win over the Myrtleford, over the Wangaratta Rovers. We're heading into the Saints change rooms right now. They're a happy team at Myrtleford.
Jeez, Funky Miller will be absolutely wrapped with that performance.
Absolutely. We might just...
Bit patchy down there.
Bit patchy. We've got it now. Here we go. No, we'll probably break away from this one.
That might be it.
There we go. The Myrtleford Alpine Saints came marching in big time today over the Wangaratta Rovers, beating the reigning premiers and the ladder-leading Rovers to the tune of 44 points in the wet at the McNamara Reserve. When we come back, our post-game show for Harvey Norman betting. It's a big win to the Saints. Don't go anywhere on Edge FM, because on O&M Live, you will not miss a thing.
Harvey Norman Bedding. Australian-made mattresses.
Clear.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Shawty get inspired. How about that? How about that? This time.
Welcome to Sundancer Homes. We make building your dream home exciting and stress-free. Backed by over 30 years of experience, one of many reasons why we provide a lifetime structural guarantee. Visit our information centre at Dean Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Drive 3.5. Embrace the mid.
My family is my first priority. We go on adventures. We treat each other well. We look after one another. And Tobin Brothers Funerals will treat you like family too. They take pride in creative funeral solutions and will fulfill you and your family's wishes, so if it's legal, it's possible. Tobin Brothers Funerals, family owned since 1934. And now, caring for your family here in Wodonga and Corowa. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
There's a home, there's
With Optus Home Internet, you get more yes. Whoa. Which means less family screen time and more harmony with powerful Wi-Fi. Get the Ultra Wi-Fi modem at no extra cost.
Masterclass of wet weather footy from start to finish, really, by the Myrtleford Alpine Saints over the Wangaratta Rovers, running away 44-point winners, 66-22 here at a wet, sloppy McNamara Reserve. Blake Penderecott with you. Scotty Montgomery has gone down to the boundary. We'll try and catch up with Craig Funky Miller, the winning coach of the Saints, and also Sam Murray will get a word from him from the Rovers.